9 cycles are passed. When the gods deem mortals too powerful, they decree a race between their avatar and the mortals to determine their worth. In the race, the mortals are granted a chance to engage the very gods themselves. The mortals are granted a chance of survival. The mortals are granted a chance to become gods. Lose and see all mortal life removed from the Kryn, and the next cycle begins. This race is the final command of the gods to their mortal counterparts. This is their dying order.
Hello everyone! Welcome to the beginning of the stream with your host, Pumpkinberry, who has a very important announcement.
Yes, I am looking at this quarantine week 2 cat fashion show, and this cat has like a mouse necklace on and then sunglasses and a scarf, and it's just continually It's cute. You should go look at it. I'll put the link in.
I'm glad that we started with something that no one can see, whether you're listening to it on the audio podcast or if you're actually watching the stream. There is no way for you to see.
You told me to talk about it on
Well,
the
I thought
stream,
it was
so
going to be... That's why I said, is it something you can talk about on the stream? And you said yes.
Yes.
And the answer was, in fact, no.
It's my favorite. I have to troll you because this might be the last episode.
That is true. It's the last ever episode.
I have to get my punch troll out.
I've been trolling KPP for about an hour and a half solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been, it's fun. I don't know what to tell you, okay? You make it too easy. Really.
I need to be meaner? Is that what I need to start doing?
Yeah, or give me less ammunition. If you start your stream with, "Hi everybody, I was homeschooled," I'm like, okay, here we go. My fingers start typing before I've even taken back control.
Told you that in confidence on my stream, Brad.
Wait, so if you were home... Now, this is something I really do not know anything about. Who taught you? How do you learn? Do you actually learn from your parents, or is that just a meme?
Well, my mom and dad decided in 2nd grade that they were going to do that. My mom has a degree in education, so she actually used to teach before she taught my sister and I.
Wait. Dial it back 1 second. She has a degree in education is a very broad term.
Well, that's how they, at least in here in this country, you can get education degrees.
Education.
To be a teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, but then they specialize.
How do they do it in the UK? Yeah, you
can specialize. You get a degree in English and then you're an English teacher.
Yeah, you
get
can
a degree in education if you're lying to your children about.
Well, then anyway, after that,
go on.
When in high school we did an accredited program, and I mean I didn't have any choice in this, by the way. We would get videos sent to us like from an actual classroom, and we would watch them. We had assignments we had to send in, and
that's adorable and creepy at the same time. So someone went to a nearby school and filmed the class and then brought it to you.
No, the school did this. Like they had an actual location, and then they did this at another.
Well, your mum would show up like one of those, like, you know, in Supernatural when they pretend to be FBI. She would show up at the school and be like, "I have a degree in education," and just walk past, pull out a camera, film the class, go home, play that to you the next day.
I mean, that's essentially what my life is. Yeah. So.
And how long did you do that for?
From 2nd grade till the senior year of high school.
Okay. I don't know really what that is, but I assume it's equivalent.
12th grade.
Before she goes off to university.
Yeah. And then you said you went to
high school.
You said you went to college.
Yeah, I got a 4-year degree in psychology from an actual college.
Mm-hmm. It was made out of... It's a... It was a college that my father built in the tree in the garden. And college... All right. Well, hey.
Do you have a degree, Brad?
I do. I horrifically have a diploma in graphic design, which is hysterical because I'm so bad at it. And I keep drawing things. Like this week, I made a thing for Peachy, and he tweeted it out, which was like a dwarf with the meme eyes and all this horrible like flames on it. It's just the worst thing you've ever seen in your entire life. And he was laughing about how terrible it was. And then I told him I had a degree in graphic design, and he cried on stream of sadness. Deleted his channel. What have you got a degree in, PB? Look at her laughing. Uneducated swine.
I am actually. I dropped out.
Yeah?
I never finished. Yeah.
What was it? What were you studying?
A couple of different things I'd rather not discuss.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, it's just,
I definitely want to know.
No, well, it's a very unique program and I don't want to be Googled. So.
Oh my God. If you're one of those people that signed up to be experimented on by like pharmacy companies,
No.
that's not a degree.
No.
All right. Well, I could hazard a guess, but I'm not going to do it live on the stream.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I will. I will never let this go. I just want you to know that.
Okay.
We will be revisiting this at some point. What about you, Disby? You schooled?
Well, no, I've been out of school. But yeah, I too didn't finish college, but I was taking multimedia arts. Yep.
You dropped out?
Yes, I did.
To do what? To stream?
Well, not quite, but it was in regards to the video game industry. So yeah.
That wasn't me throwing shade. I pretty much did exactly the same thing.
No,
I did the same thing. I became a full-time YouTuber like halfway through a degree.
yeah.
Okay.
I am. Yeah.
All right. There's a lot of like just. Yeah, I dropped out. I was doing multimedia arts and then I do a thing for games. Use the thing with games.
Well, because this is, I know you don't know this, Brad, but this is what parents normally do. They put that pressure on their kids to be like, are you graduating? Are you graduating? So that's kind of what you're doing to her right now.
Yeah, I know.
Being like, what'd you get your degree in?
I know exactly what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm unsettling all of you, and then I'm going to throw you into a genjutsu with a demon. So, it's yeah. Pocket, I already know.
Oh, what do you know?
That you graduated
I graduated, yes.
with honors,
I don't know about that, but yeah.
military school.
You're right. No, school was actually my parents. They said they'll pay for school if I don't join the military, because I was going to.
Oh, wow.
You said
Yeah,
school was
so,
your parents, just like KPP then.
My parents were military.
Oh, they were military.
Yeah, they were military, and they didn't want me to join the military.
I knew it.
I was
They said, "We'll pay
I
for
am an
yours."
only child, and granted, my family is perfectly fine with women joining the military. They did not want me to join the military as their daughter. So, even though my
paid you
mom
to
was in the military,
study
my
something
grandpa. Do what now?
They paid you to study something else instead of join a
Pretty much.
military
They're like,
thing?
don't join the military, go to school. So I became an English major with an emphasis on creative writing.
Hey,
and
so you still became a major.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, because there's a majors in the army. All right, never mind. Did you get? You did work in the video game industry, right? I feel like
Yeah,
I heard you say that
for
somewhere.
quite a few years, and then I quit about 4 years ago to become a full-time broadcaster.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There
So
you go.
I've been in the industry for about 10 years now, but 4 years ago I became full-time broadcaster.
All right. So 2 of us are educated, 2 of us are almost educated, and 1 of us thinks they're educated. That's you, KPP, because you are. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm taking the bread emote down.
Oh no, we did it, by the way. Was that
I
live
do
on the
love it.
stream, or was that off the stream when we said that we would replace the or bring back the emotes if you did a bread
I
one?
don't remember.
Did we mention
I
that
think
on
we
the
said it
stream?
live. Yeah, I think we said it
Yeah,
live.
I can't remember. Everything is blurring into one over the last few weeks. Yeah, there is a bread emote now. So if you subscribe to KPP, you get that horrific bread emote.
He's beautiful.
It's so scary. It's so
so good.
scary, dude.
So good. She made it herself today.
She drew it in
Live.
paint.
That's hard to believe. She made it herself like it's some sort of piece of.
Yeah, just
Fine
like her
art.
degree.
It is fine art.
She it's the most like existential bread I've ever seen. It's so scary.
So good.
Oh my god, it freaks me out so bad. And I brought back as an agreement the trash emote, which is literally all I did was upload a PNG of a trash once just for a joke for like a day.
It was for me.
Was
Do
it
you
for
remember
you? I know, I
Yeah,
don't remember.
I
but-
came in for the first time, by the way. The first time I go into Brad's chat, and he's like, "Look at this piece of trash pumpkin berry," and then put up a trash emote,
Hell
and
yeah.
everybody spammed it at me. He was
And,
like,
I did
"Yeah,
not know that
spam
was the
this energy."
origin story.
Now, a
And
great
that's
friendship
so-
was born.
Yep.
Yeah, so there it is. And you can also subscribe to Pumpkinberry for an emote of me. Is that still there? You
Oh
still
yeah,
got it?
yeah, it is the OMG one. Yes.
Yeah, you can subscribe to Disby for one of the best kiss emotes. Let me just demonstrate. Look at that one. That's a good one. And you can subscribe to Pocket for my favorite sip emote if you want to
Yep.
subscribe for some good
The
emotes.
best.
Every one of these people is a worthy subscription, but only for their emotes and not for their content, including myself. So we're gonna that's what they're for, right? Emotes are just to incentivize these animals to give us money for free and subscribe to Tablestory for an emote of Bo. There's literally a Bobo emote. Right there, and you will get an email from Bobo, a personalized email sent from Disby. There's a backlog.
Thank you for your subscription. Bada boom.
Bada boom. So, last time on the Dungeons and Dragons, you guys were involved in a fight in a temple of ice, temple that was supposedly dedicated to Auriel, in Bologna, and the high priest there revealed himself to be Iggan, the incubus demon, a sort of charm demon, although he seems to also have almost like warlock powers. He seems to be drawing power from a patron. He is obviously a priest as well, so he also kind of has some like clerical or like dark clerical abilities. And you guys worked it out, but you didn't know at the time that he had a kind of a device or a something that he's using to enhance his powers even further. You kind of had a little back and forth with him. Kalugi tried to hold him in place so that you can get a strike on him, but he broke out of it. He charmed all of you, pretty much. You all ended up inside of a kind of a sort of a mind hole, a trap, a genjutsu. He sort of imposed upon you this illusionary world that you're trapped in. It feels and seems very real to you, but slowly over the course of the combat last week, you discovered that in fact it was not real. It is illusionary, and it's being imposed upon you by this creature, this demon. You ended up fighting with him. You reduced his HP all the way down to nothing. He was looking all battered up and broken. He had arrows in his eyes, and he had wounds on him and things like that. But it was all false. It was a ruse. He healed himself. He appeared to you to be kind of messed up, but then he kind of just healed himself and got over with it. Oh God, what have I done? Is it me? Okay. The icy temple that you're in kind of melted away and was replaced with this kind of inside of a cavern, inside of a mountain looking area. There is lava flowing up from the floor. There's an island at the center of it. On a pillar stands this kind of almost evolved version of Iggan. He's a bigger, stronger looking demon, appearing very menacing in a hood and with like graying skin. You've been going back and forth trying to figure out. You guys worked out between Suna and Bo. Suna kind of worked out that she was inside of an illusion. Aura has snapped out of an even deeper illusion that she was in and has been kind of trying to attack Iggan. Bo actually popped the non-cork of his elixir that was handed to him by Ahi right at the beginning of the campaign, drank it and unlocked a sort of hidden power within himself as an elementalist, a water elementalist. And Disby, you will see that your character sheet, which I will double check as well, has some extra things on there. You have basically got an expanded spell list available to you. You have 2 more cantrips. Elemental Overlay, which essentially you can lay onto your crossbow or your sword or anything really, a stick that you find on the ground, and convert it into water energy, give it frost damage or water and kind of acidic damage. You have control water and ice as well. You can sort of, it's like, you ever see Avatar where the water benders can do that kind of thing? You can sort of do that with ice and water. There was another spell, but I can't remember what it was that I gave you. And you also have on your skills, if you go all the way down, you will see that you have access to some extra abilities. You have the extra elementalist spellcasting, which explains that you will get more of those at higher levels. You get a thing called nourishment, which is that when you're not in combat near a source of natural water, your healing spells will heal twice as much and at their maximum value. So if it's a 1d4, you can basically just say it's 4. You don't need to roll the dice, you just take the max. But you have to be out of combat, remember, and you need to be near a source of natural water, so a lake or river or something like that, or it needs to be raining. Luckily for you, it's always snowing at the moment, so you pretty much just have to be outside. You have a move called Ice Master, which is that all spells that you cast that have the acid or frost or cold or water subtype deal an extra 1d6 damage. So if you add spells as you level up, or you change any of your spells and they have water or frost or whatever, they will be spells that will, for you, do an extra 1d6 if they're damaging spells. You also have a thing called Acid Rain, which is that rain falls down, and in an area that's a 15-foot radius, any creature that's in that area has to make a Constitution saving throw. If they fail it, they instantly lose their concentration on any spells they might be concentrating on, and they can't take any dash actions to try and run out of that rain. And it says how many times you can do it. I added the Acid Rain 2 times per rest, and you get additional things at higher levels. So it's very similar in terms of structure to the way these two have Chronomancy. If any of it doesn't make any sense, let me know. You can ask me while we're live, or we can work it out off the stream, because this is kind of homebrew stuff that I've added in. It's like an additional thing. You have some things that usually come from your race, some things that come from your class. You can multi-class, but this is none of those things. It's just an additional like bolt-on thing. And I'm going a little crazy because this is how it works, and I didn't know really exactly how to do this thing, but I needed to do something. And I didn't want it to be tied to your races. I thought it was too obvious. I wanted it to be more to do with your personalities, kind of, and how you presented yourselves. And this was way back when you all handed me your blank character sheets, and I went, well, let's see what these personalities represent and what that might mean for their hidden abilities. We'll never know for Suna and Aura, because they traded it in. They traded in their innate power for borrowed power, the power of the Magi and the Chronomancy that they condensed into the Gate of Time that we visited before, and they kind of unlocked their own abilities within that field, so they got their Chronomancy. And Ellie is a rogue, so she doesn't really need any help. She has sneak attack, so she's unlocked all of her hidden powers. She's fine. She'll be fine. So towards the end of the fight here, you guys kind of realize that you're in this thing, but you haven't worked out exactly how to get out of the illusionary place that you've been placed in by Iggan. And things just to remind you is that Kalugi can hear sounds kind of being imposed upon him, and he's kind of turning around on the spot. He's getting angry and frustrated with Iggan at the sounds that he's hearing. Ellie is hearing the sounds of Bologna, the sounds of the street, the cobblestones, horses, people shouting at one another, almost as if she's just tuning into it live, almost like picking up on a frequency. She's hearing it come from near where Iggan is, or from beyond where he is. No one else seems to be able to hear anything. And you guys were in the middle of this combat, pretty much trying to figure out what to do, how to get out. Iggan kind of said he's not playing around anymore and started launching out eldritch blasts. So he's standing now on top of this pillar, kind of throwing out these blasts of energy, and he's firing them off. So although obviously we're going through turn order here, essentially he's in the middle here, coalescing energy into his hand and firing them down at each of you. Just kind of almost like having fun with it, kind of like just a guy firing at fish in a barrel, you know what I mean? He's kind of just seems to be loading up this energy in his hands and firing them off at you. He seems to have alluded to the fact that he is almost chipping away at you at your will, and that perhaps this is the outside of this somewhere. You're in here, you're fighting to keep sane almost, and that eventually, after he's chipped away at your will, then perhaps he has more control over you, or complete control over you, or maybe you die, you don't know, but he seems to be doing something like that. As it stands, you guys are running low on abilities and spell slots, and HP is now potentially going to be your next issue. At the end of the last session, I think Iggan had finished his turn. And that brings us to Grim. Grim, of course, fell into this hole. There's a hole that seems to be a bottomless pit around where Iggan is stood on this pillar. But he pulled out a crossbow. He's kind of sitting on his arse here. His legs are up in front of him with these greave boots on and things, and he's loading crossbow bolts into the crossbow. He seems to be a little frayed at the edges, almost like he's almost in as much as you can read from him, he's almost maybe beginning to panic a little bit. He's unsure. He's so used to being able to hit things and take control over the situation that way. It seems to be he's a little unresponsive to you guys. I think Ellie or Kalugi had interacted with him. Someone interacted with him, and he was just kind of like, I'm just going to keep hitting him. So he loads up a crossbow bolt, and you just hear the latch kick as he fires off another bolt at this giant form of Iggan. And let's see how he does. The first roll of the day is a 16. I've already forgotten what Iggan's AC is. That's a hit. Bang. So you guys, once again, you see this crossbow bolt strike into this kind of grey flesh of Iggan. You see the thing hit, you see blood, dark red, but blood trickle down the front of Iggan as this crossbow bolt buries deep within his ribs, but he just doesn't seem to even respond to it, even though you witness this thing happening. You see Grim struggling again with the crossbow.
I'll take him down. Just you wait and see, you fucker.
He starts to load another bolt up, bringing us to Zuna's turn.
Do I hear anything?
You can give me a perception check if you'd like.
I would like that.
Are you listening for anything in particular?
I'm sorry, you'll have to remind me who shouted what. I think they said that there was a sound, right? That's what we were discussing?
Kalugi shouted something along the lines of, "How dare you have me hear her voice?"
Right.
I can't remember if Ellie shouted that she could hear the sounds of the city, or whether she
I
said
told,
it. I told someone.
I
Maybe
did
Kalugi
say
or Grim.
something. I think I said it to Kalugi.
Okay, we agreed that as long... I mean, was it particularly hushed, or are you just kind of speaking?
No, I was just talking.
Okay.
We agreed that it's relatively quiet in here, and there is... Although for us, there's maybe the sound of music and things like that going on. In here, there's really just the sound of Iggan laughing at you every now and then, and that's about it. 7. You hear nothing. You hear the sounds of the lava gently popping. You hear the sounds of what appear. You feel like you're underground. Obviously, you know it's an illusion, but it feels like you're underground. There's a sense that you're you're underneath like the Earth's crust. You know, this isn't like you're in a volcano maybe, but more so that you're very deep underground. But not, no sounds of the city. You don't hear anybody's voice aside from anyone who might be interacting with you or speaking to you now.
All right. I see you gave me the toolkit.
What did I give you? Let me see. Yeah, I did. I forgot that I added a thing for you because we spoke about something as well.
Is that? But see, I still don't necessarily know how to use it. Is that something I could utilize now?
Wait, where's this toolkit? What are we saying?
The only right under the passive wisdom.
Oh, okay. Calling it a toolkit.
Well.
Yeah. So if you look,
you put it under that section, so yes.
Yeah, scroll all the way to the bottom on the right. You'll see.
Oh, you added it for me.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Exactly what it is and what it does.
I see. All right. Yes, I would like to move. I'd like to move here. And I would like to try to use that, I think.
Okay, what is it?
I wanted, well, it's using my eye, my demon eye, and I want to see, I want to see if I know how to break out of this demon spell that we're under, this realm that he's put us in.
So you have an ability that comes with your newly discovered demonic heritage, and you can make checks related to something demonic in origin, and you're proficient. So what it does is it adds double your proficiency bonus. So you should, in theory, just be able to click that, because I worked it out, and I think that's correct. Your history, yes, another 7.
That makes me so happy.
Well, if you get 4 7s in a row, you can pretty much, you basically unlock the wish spell, because that's how much I love lucky 7s in Final Fantasy VII. So bear that in mind. That's just a weird Brad Woto unwritten rule. If you roll 4 7s, if I do 4 7s in a row there, you can pretty much do whatever you want as a party or a group. So, what do you know based on your... and this really is an instinctual thing. This is a gut thing. This is you being relying on your... It's not, even though it's using intelligence, it really is drawing from an intelligence that lies within your blood. You know, it probably is more akin to a kind of a wisdom roll, but really you are drawing on an instinct almost, hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of years of knowledge that come through the demonic blood that runs through your veins. I think on a 7, you gain the information that you already have. It's not that you... It reinforces your confirmations that this is...
that this isn't real.
Yeah, this is...
We need to find a way out.
You've been hit by some sort of charm wave that has beguiled you and has brought you into an illusory world. I think you're relatively aware that you don't know. You know, it's
Have
not
to get out.
Yeah, it's more just that you're not used to using this energy, this side of your
never
sorcery. So I think also that it's almost like you're using a muscle that you have never worked out.
All right. Aura.
Yes?
Aura, this isn't real. This whole place, it isn't real. And I know it for certain. I know it in my bones. And I don't know how to get out.
So there's no lava? There's no heat?
No, none of this is real. We're probably standing there. Just like those people when we first walked in. That had their eyes glazed over. That's probably us now. We're probably just standing there like zombies.
How do we snap out of it?
I don't know. but we have to do something fast.
I don't have much strength left to do any spells or anything like that right now.
Well, me either, but don't worry about that so much. If it's not real, I doubt we'll need to use spells to get out.
Do you think if I immobilize him, it would help?
I don't know. I don't think doing anything to him is going to do anything at all.
Should we give him the information he wants?
No. I can't tell if that's just me being stubborn. But I don't want to do that.
He'll do what he says.
Yeah, I think that's wise.
Can the others hear us?
I did lower my voice there to speak just to you, but I'm curious to see if Iggan can hear me. If he reacts to what I say.
Give me an insight check. I don't think the other 4 can, but Iggan 100%
knows what we're saying.
Yeah, as soon as you guys started speaking hushed, you're pretty sure there's no way your voice is carried that far over there. But you see his eyes, they're red and they're glowing red. There's almost a trail of sort of energy that follows them as they flick over to you. His mouth curls at the edge, but he doesn't say anything.
And I think he knows exactly what we're saying right now. So there's no point in whispering.
So when he regened, his eyeballs grew back?
Mm-hmm. Everything. He's fresh as a daisy. He looks brand new, apart from the new damage dealt by the single bolt from Grim.
Okay.
Those were great shots, by the way, Aura.
I just don't understand what we're supposed to do.
Well, we have to find the way out. We have to find the way out! This isn't real! And I will end my turn.
All right. Mr. Bobo.
Oh boy.
It is your turn.
Okay, just a quick question. So if I move a bit closer, would I still be able to do a cantrip?
Yeah, you can. So a cantrip is an action unless it's a bonus action. But you can still do all of your movement up to 30 feet, I think.
Okay.
30 feet of movement. And then your usual actions, yeah. It's a spell that just doesn't require any spell slots, that's all, but it's still the same rules that you need an action or a bonus action to use it, but that's outside of your movement.
Okay. All right, so I'll just get close enough. Mind you, I'm 6 years old, so pardon the
Oh yes, of course.
Yep, the voice.
You're a child.
Don't really sound like a man. Sorry if I croak here and there. All right, I'm gonna grab Iggan's attention. Hey, yo! You pompous prick! I use vicious mockery. My insults aren't gonna be as great because, I don't exactly have, my intelligence and my wits. Oh, do I? Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, okay. Well, I'll just.
You're just
okay. All right. The last time I saw something like you, I flushed it. That's my insult.
All right. I need another roll from you here. So I've made the roll, which was a 6 against your wit save. Here. So the vicious mockery lands. You. I don't think you see anything happen to Iggan, but you do maybe recognize within your own abilities that the spell was successful and you dealt damage to Iggan to the tune of 3 psychic damage. And I think that means somebody gets advantage on their next attack against him. I can't remember how vicious mockery was.
Yeah,
one way around or the other.
He gets disadvantage.
He's disadvantaged for one of his next attack. Okay.
On the next attack roll, yeah.
I shall endeavor to remember. And
so good.
Let's see here. What is your? Can you roll me a flat charisma roll?
Oh yeah, sure. Do. Oh boy, hold on.
It's
there we go.
The actual word charisma on the left.
Oh, derp.
Not the save, because you're proficient
sorry.
in charisma.
Oopie.
So the where the 4 and the 18 is, on the very far left, the words are actually highlightable.
Okay, hold on. It would be.
I will.
Oh, there we go.
You got it?
Yeah, 14. Oh wait, no, oops. Oops.
If you look in the Discord, you'll see what I mean.
Oh, okay, derp.
It's okay. It's the weirdest thing. It doesn't make any sense, but it's hard to explain. So I usually just print screen.
There.
Bam, there you go. 17. You see nothing happen to Iggan, but you do see, and only you see, a flicker, almost like a connection flicker to the area beyond where he is, the area around where these coffins are, where the back of this island is. It just kind of twists in on itself. It glitches. The walls close in for just the briefest half second as this spell lands. And that's that.
So it's like an opening of sorts?
No, it's just like imagine there was a television, just a giant great big screen behind Iggan, and then imagine that television screen glitch, took a moment of static or something, just for barely even a real, not even a second. You just catch it as it just looks like the environment shifts and changes a moment, just loosens, for just a second.
All right. So with that, I would then assume that this would have something to do with disrupting his concentration.
Okay.
And I'd call out to everybody. We have to do something about his concentrations. Gotta disrupt whatever the hell this is. Gotta give it all we got. And I end my turn.
All right. Brings us to Ellie.
Hi. I'm gonna move. And listen real quick. Do I hear the sounds getting louder again?
Give me a perception check.
Oh boy. Can I have advantage? Because I already know it's a thing.
Yeah. It was actually just going to be a lower DC, but sure. Advantage works just fine. 16. You, oh yeah, you hear it. Gets louder. Sounds of Bologna, the town around you, become very clear to you, very distinct. They're coming from this coffin here.
I'm gonna step up next to this coffin.
Yeah. You hear it clearly. It sounds local, as if there was a speaker in this coffin that's sending the sound up towards you.
Can I reach into the coffin?
Yeah, all of these coffins are open. Inside of them, well, you can see straight inside, and inside of this one, you can see the bones of a humanoid, not like animal bones or anything like that, but they're scattered. They don't make the form of a human, although there is a kind of on its side a human skull. You can see amongst the bones, sitting kind of lodged inside the ribs, that there is a single black envelope in there.
Can I check for traps?
You can. Give me an investigation check.
Okay. Oh.
You look this thing over, and there doesn't appear to be any traps necessarily. You don't see any traps, but I think you're aware that you wouldn't even know what to look for with these traps fully. But there isn't like a very obvious kind of like a tripwire or anything like that. There's just a set of bones and this envelope sitting within the rib cage, the sort of broken humanoid rib cage.
I'm gonna call back to Bo. or actually, no, I'm gonna try and get Bo's attention by waving, and I'm gonna point to the coffin I'm at. Does he see me? Bo,
Yeah, I noticed right away. And
I'm gonna point, because I don't want to say anything, and I don't know if Iggan's even looking at me. And I'm gonna point to the coffin I'm at, and then Bo's gonna see me try to disappear. Go into
Try and
stealth.
hide? Okay, yeah, give me a stealth
behind
check.
the coffin.
I give her a nod.
24.
You're getting in the coffin?
No, I'm getting like on the other side of it.
And around the back of it? Okay. Like
Yeah.
kind of hiding
I'm
behind
not
it?
gonna get in there. I don't know if there's traps.
Okay.
So
It's a portal.
You,
I think other people, if they were even looking at me moving, they would see me point to this coffin and then just disappear.
Yeah, you're right across from me, so I'm watching you.
Yeah.
I think
I'm not reaching in there though. I refuse to reach in there without like. I think that even though like she's never been around this kind of magic, she'd probably just be like, I'm not touching that.
Yeah. Grim and
So-
Kalugi don't seem to be looking at you. I think the others do seem to be looking at you. Iggan seems to be darting his eyes across each of you. Not too sure whether his eyes were watching you while you did.
Okay.
Yeah, when you hid behind the coffin there, and yeah, you jump in behind that coffin and take up a kind of hidden position, crouch down behind this relatively large coffin. Kalugi is turning around and around in circles. He's confused. Let me roll a check for Kalugi. That's where he was. My gosh. I think honestly he just continues to grab at his head, pushes the hood off of his head, and you can see his hair is wild. He has very thick, kind of voluminous, curled blonde hair. Kind of like one of those old school, like that dude from Castlevania, the beautiful one. He has like that kind of looking hair, lots of hair, and he digs his hands into his hair there and kind of tries to press his hands to his ears. He seems to be going a little crazy in the corner, not like fully going insane situation, but he does seem to be very frustrated at whatever was happening to him. And I think that is honestly all he's going to do here. Aura, it is your turn.
Can I do a perception check around the room to see if there's anything suspicious?
Yeah. And when you say suspicious, is anything very obviously out of the ordinary or anything specific?
Anything out of the ordinary that would strike me as like that, because Suna just told me that this is not real. I want to see if I notice any like anomalies.
Okay.
12.
A 12. Honestly, no. For what it is, for the strange environment that you find yourself in, it's obviously extremely strange to even be in here in the first place. There is, you're in what appears to be a perfectly closed cavern. There's no exit. There isn't any ways that are in or out that seem to be natural or unnatural entrances or anything like that. You're just in kind of a dome almost. There's stalagmites, stalactites hanging down from above the top of you, and you seem to be completely enclosed in. There's a horrible amount of heat. There's this lava which is bubbling up that seems to be a pool of lava. The lava in front of you isn't just resting on top of stone. It does seem to be a deep kind of lake or river of some kind, like a moat of lava here. It's sitting around this island. Everything around you, the rocks, the stone, seem to be kind of natural looking, real. There are these coffins. I guess those are the only man-made things in here that might stick out to you. There's the pillar that he's standing on, which is also kind of man-made looking, very kind of out of place. But in terms of anything that stands out to you outside of the things you've already seen, because you've already seen all of these things, there isn't like anything strange. There's no like boom mic hanging in from the corner or anything. Like there isn't like a creature that's partially concealed staring at you from another place, or any hidden or concealed entrances or exits or anything like that that you might pick up on that you're able to see from here.
I feel like at this point I'm going to try to detect portal, because I want to see if there's anything in the room where we can get out a different way.
Yeah. Okay. So What is this? What is this? You just do this, right? I can't remember.
Yeah, this is underneath just Mike. I can try to post it in chat.
Cool, I can find it. I just have to open up everyone's character sheets. Oh, there we go.
I
Gain the
fucking
ability
love
to
your brain, KPP.
magically sense the presence
love it
of
so
a
much.
god pole as an action. You detect the closest god pole. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again. So, let's see here. You are a ranger. So can you roll me a flat wisdom check? Just the
Yes.
word wisdom on the left.
Oh boy. Oh boy. 17.
17. There is a very strange sensation. You get almost hit by a reverb of odd energy. You however you want to interpret this, you feel like you're in two places at once all of a sudden. It would probably be very uncomfortable as you experience a dual reality. You get the sensation, although not any physical, empirical kind of eyes, nose, mouth sensation of being both here in this room and still being in the temple at the same time. You know that, but you don't see it. You don't understand it or feel it. Within the temple, you can sense a god portal very nearby. Within here, you sense that there is both no god portal or all god portal, or if you want, you can just create one.
Oh, in that case, I want to create one.
All right, let's see. Now, is this... So you've used your action. This is going to cost you an action to do it, so you
Yeah.
have to wait a turn.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
So yeah, you will be able to create a portal on an action.
I'm going to just yell out, I have a plan, get close to me. And I'm not going to say anything else.
Okay.
All right, you heard her. Come on, don't forget to get Kalugi.
Now let's.
And Grim.
see.
Okay, I'll be there in 5 rounds.
You. Wow. Okay. Iggan.
You can actually jump
is-
down from.
You can jump. Yeah. You can all.
Yeah,
It is the risk, but yeah.
Yeah. If you
But I
fuck
mean,
it up,
on the-
it would
on
be
the-
too bad. But
on the right hand side where you are. That's where I was heading to get to you. That little
Yeah,
ledge
jump
there.
down and climb back up.
And I mean, I'm here. I'll help you up.
So the very large form of Iggan. Do you move, by the way, Aura, at all? Your turn. You
I
still do movement.
was actually thinking, so Ellie went into stealth inside of that coffin, correct?
I'm on the
She's on, like,
outside
outside of it,
behind
yeah.
it.
Or what
Yeah.
it looks like to us. She could be in it. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna start. I have 30 steps I can take. I'm gonna follow up behind Suna and see Ellie there, so I can try to get closer to them as well. So I can go pretty much next to Suna. So I'm gonna catch up with her.
Okay. The very large form of Iggan is witnessing you do all of these things. Kind of not bothered, I would imagine. Not too bothered at all about what you are doing. Let's see, who shouted out? It was Suna. No, it was just Aura, wasn't it? Really. So I think
I did last turn. I
You
said
sort of
it's
did, yeah.
it's not real. Yeah, so I don't know.
let's see. Where is it? There he is. Sorry, I've got a lot of character sheets open. Yeah, I think probably not much he can do to you to fuck with this. So, I think Aura. He does this same thing. A bunch of energy coalesces around one hand, a bunch of energy coalesces around another, and then he opens them, and from his hands, these 2 bolts of energy fire forward, kind of black and purple energy, just moving, rolling over itself, and launching out in a pretty direct and straight line. One towards Una, one towards Aura. So I don't know if this works. I think I need to roll it. Yeah. It does a weird thing where it doesn't do the thing. So this is the first one for your AC Suna, second one for Aura. A 10 and then a 10.
It misses.
Both misses, I assume.
It misses, but can I, because he attacked me, or do I have to take damage first? But I'd like... Oh, never mind. Sorry. I thought I had a spell slot. I wanted to do Hellish Rebuke, but I don't think I can.
I think also you have to take damage. It says it in the spell description. Yeah, these two bolts launch towards you. What are you guys doing? Are you guys in movement? How do you avoid these two bolts of energy that are fired out towards you?
I think I'd like to say they just fall short and we stand there and don't move at all. But I don't know. Aura, what would you do? I know you're pretty pissed at him as well.
I probably just caught up to Suna and stopped as we see it coming towards us, and then it just doesn't quite reach us.
Yeah, you can manifest that if you'd like. The energy bolts kind of just fizzle out, and they almost grow smaller before they kind of fall into to suddenly take on a gravitational pull, and then they fall short of where they are supposed to land before
we use our time magic together to make it not
before they even get Clahier rewinds.
Yeah.
No, they just fizzle out. I think they almost as if they lose fuel before they reach where you are.
Yes.
Bringing us to Grim. Is anyone shouting at Grim? You can kind of have some sort of free action here to shout him, Aura, or someone who wants to convince him to get you.
She did shout and say, "Come and join us," and I said, "Grab Kalugi."
Shouted at Grim that? Sorry, I thought you were shouting at one of them.
Yeah, we shouted at everyone. She said, "Everybody come near me," and then I said, "Don't forget, you heard her. Don't forget to bring Kalugi."
Then I said, and grab Grim too.
Aura, give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay.
If you can persuade Grim from his psychotic bloodlust and fear. Just about, barely able to, yes.
Wow.
He looks over towards you, looks up at this imposing form. I think just as he's about to kind of lift his crossbow up and fire again, he sees those two energy bolts go off. You see his eyes follow them, and then he sees them peter out before they get to you, and he thinks better of what he's doing. He jumps up and says, "Right, I'll get him then." And he runs over towards Kalugi, and
nice.
To be honest, I don't think Kalugi can really do anything to stop Grim. But Grim doesn't pick him up. He runs over to Kalugi and hits him round the face. Backhand slap, dry slap to the chops. Psh, snap out of it. We're getting out of here. He points over towards where Aura is. Kalugi kind of stumbles sideways. Fuck. Listen, I don't know what the fuck you lot are planning, but... And then I'm gonna roll to see what he says. What's the plan then? Shouting towards you, Aura. Is it there? And he shows, he wiggles his fingers.
I don't know. I heed what Suna told me, which is that he can hear everything.
Yeah.
And so
just get over here.
Just trust me.
Quickly now.
All right.
Standing there with a face open like a fish. Let's go.
Both of them look like they're moving towards you. Grim is now going to use the rest of his movement to go 20 feet to here, and then 20 feet to here, and then I don't think he's got the movement left. I guess he could jump onto this rock. Let's see if he can jump onto this rock. Grim, where you at? Can you do anything? You can do... I'll give him athletics or acrobatics check. We can do that. Clicked it. Roll 20. Nope. Ooh! Yes. It's a beautiful jump.
What does this look like?
You see him just kind of like... So he's wearing this relatively heavy looking armor. He's got splint mail on. He's got these big, thick, like his greaves are huge. He's wearing these massive-looking metallic greaves that run up the front of his shin, and they're kind of as he's running across the stone here. And he glances up at Iggan as he runs past him. Iggan, the huge form, you see Iggan bring up a hand, and you see that energy coalesce again. Grim kind of just hooks his crossbow back onto his belt, glances down at the hole where his sword was, and then just turns, leans a little bit into his leap, and jumps. He doesn't even seem to give a shit. It's a very blasé kind of just, I'm going to leap off this edge jump, as he just, boom, both feet, jumps into the air, and then with a crash onto the stone, he lands on this little rock, this outcropping. It's a little kind of slippy, slidey looking. It's not like a flat top or anything. He lands on it, he grabs with his two big hands onto the top of this rock, and kind of just now is partially held on to this rock, looking probably like a great ape of some sort, holding on to this rock above the lava.
I look at Aura when this happens and kind of do the ooh, like that man could probably definitely take your head off, but I'm glad he didn't.
You see all of his veins in his neck and tendons just struggling against holding on to this thing, and he grabs Purchase with his boots and says, all right, almost there. And you see him now start to kind of almost struggle to climb around the edge of the rock, but he seems to have it in hand. It's a clear jump, big powerful legs that he takes a big leap off the edge over this lava, and brings us to you, Suna.
Oh, right. I will, goodness me. Let me see if I have anything that can... right, okay. I will just cast Firebolt. Can I do that without hitting Grim?
Yeah, unless you
just
massively fuck up.
All right. That's what I would like to do, just to keep him distracted, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, actually... No, don't do that. That'd be very bad. I was gonna lightning lure one of my own teammates, bring them to me, but a lot could go wrong, and I don't want to get anyone killed. 23.
23, that's a hit.
10 fire damage.
10 fire damage launched up towards Daddy Dearest, and yeah, this fire damage kind of
Fuck you, fireball.
a little mini fireball launches over this lava, over Grim's head, over towards where the very large and imposing form of Iggan is, dealing 10 fire damage. Yeah, the hit strikes him. A bunch of flame running up his shoulder and over his back. He doesn't flinch from it or anything like that, and you see him kind of lean down and blows at the flame, putting some of it out. Smiles again, doesn't say anything. Yeah, doesn't say anything.
All right.
He's looking at you, drawing energy into his hands again.
All right. May I ready my reaction to use on someone else?
Well, reaction just goes off when the thing of
I know,
the reaction happens.
Normally the reaction's only for me to shield, but if I say it now early, am I able to shield someone else?
I doubt it.
Aura?
It depends who the target is. Is the target only self?
I can't remember. Hold on.
Look it up.
Might be.
Yeah, range area is self, so yeah, no,
Yes.
you can only cast it on yourself.
Okay.
Alright, end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay. Bo?
Oh boy. Well, I am definitely not gonna go follow Grim.
Oh, actually,
I'm
can you
gonna
give me a
head-
perception check?
Oh boy. Okay. All right, I'll do that real quick. All right. 11.
11. You can also hear the sounds of a city, and it does, again, much like how it is being perceived by Ellie, you're pretty convinced this sounds like your hometown of Bologna. Though for you, as you maybe turn to go back the way you came, you catch these sounds and almost coming from behind you. You're pretty sure the sounds are coming for you from this direction somewhere.
Well,
once you tune into it, you can't not tune into it. So as far as you're concerned, you can hear it, but it sounds distant, like it's behind you, relatively far away. You know, it sounds quiet. You catch it.
All right. Well, as tempted as I am to follow it, I'm gonna stick to the plan. So, I'm gonna head over to the edge here. Could I possibly jump down?
Let's see what you can do over there. Yes, you can jump down. It is, I don't think you can injure yourself. Let me just double check on fall damages. Oh yeah, no, you can. Roll me an athletics or an acrobatics check to jump down.
Okay. All right.
An 8 is a fail. All right. Roll me a d6.
Oh God.
1. That's not bad. You take 1 bludgeoning damage, but what happens here as you... It's only about 10-15 feet max. There is a slight incline to the stone and the rock that you could kind of climb down, but it's pretty sheer drop. I assume you leap, or even if you do kind of attempt a little more of a cautious jump down. What happens because you fuck it up?
So do I pretty much just fall flat on my face on the ground?
It's up to you. What does it look like? What do we see?
All right,
You're running towards the edge.
Yep, I'm running off the edge, hoping that it's going to be a graceful leap, but nope, I fall flat on my face and I just twitch on the ground.
You've got like the birds and Tweety birds.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's exactly
you
it.
just kind of, I think everyone, from Ellie's perspective, Bo just runs past you, jumps off the edge, and then there's a horrible sound of face hitting ground. He's a 6-year-old as well, so he just...
Bo, are you all right?
I think I broke a tooth, but I'm okay.
He's
Sort
got a
of.
missing tooth. One of his baby teeth is gone.
Yep, that's the end of my turn.
All right, now you've got that classic like missing front teeth thing that kids get. So you have to speak with a lisp, or you will
with a lisp.
or you will suffer a penalty to everything.
Oh no!
Ever
Okay.
again. All right, and that brings you to the end of your turn. You're there, and that brings us to Ellie. So Ellie's probably doing like one of those like down back behind the casket things, hidden from Iggan. What do you want to do? And again, for you, you hear the sounds of this town just so very
I want to do
clearly.
another investigation.
Okay, what are you looking for? Or listening
Anything.
for?
I'm looking for things that might harm me if I reach in and grab this envelope. Like, I've been cursed already twice.
Yep.
And I've been hurt by my own father. So, I think I
Haven't
just
we
feel.
all? All right, never mind.
16.
16. Actually, you were pretty sure that there isn't any traps on this. Once you look over this thing, you're pretty sure it is just an open casket with all of these bones in here. Looking them over, they're probably from someone around your height. A humanoid, two arms, 2 legs. You get those kind of measurements. You don't see anything untoward. It doesn't look like there's any hidden compartments or anything that's going to jump out at you. You're not going to trip anything. The only things in here are bones and a black envelope.
I think I'd appear to everybody now, and I call back. Don't you think it's odd there's 6 coffins and 6 of us? And I would grab the envelope.
All right, do you open it?
Yes.
Okay. Same looking. This is an absolute copy of one of the envelopes and pieces of vellum or paper that you have inside that you receive when you receive the name of somebody who you have been employed to kill. For example, the one that you got for Gertrude looked like this in our flashback episode. And the same thing inside here, this black envelope, you whip it open, and inside is a piece of paper with the name Ellie Ellian on it.
Huh. I wouldn't even know what to make of that. Besides, like, am I supposed to die to get out of here? I would just, I guess, keep it.
Okay.
And follow Bo.
All right, you can give me an athletics or an acrobatics check to jump down.
Great, awesome, super. I too fall.
Also a fail. Yeah, roll me a d6. You take 3 bludgeoning damage. You probably step onto a loose piece of earth or gravel that Bo kicked up, and then how does this look?
I'm proficient and it's dex, and I still fail.
Yeah,
oh
like
God.
This has to be one of the strangest things for anyone to witness.
I'm like looking down, and then I maybe that like as Bo's going down, I like trip over him, not even paying attention, and I just fall too right next to him.
The hell is happening?
Can I keep going, or do I just fall?
No, on a fail you stop. Yeah.
Okay.
You're
I guess
not
that's my
prone.
turn then.
You're not prone though, but I don't know, you break a toe or twist an ankle or something. And you stumble and come to a stop. 6-year-old Bo kind of standing up. Little.
I have a boo-boo on my knee.
Yeah, he's got a little blood trickling from one lip and 2 missing teeth. And Kalugi shall also run. Let's see. I think Kalugi probably will go this way, and we'll see how far he can get. I'm gonna have to do it on this screen. I have 2 Roll20s open every time I do this. One for the stream, and one for me. See how far he can get. He can get to about here. So Kalugi starts running around the edge here. He's kind of moving like as quickly as he can, and as he clears the area where the lava is, he does a little hop over the lava down these steps and starts to run around the edges of it, and he shakes his head a little and looks back over his shoulder at the area where that he was before. A kind of some of that crazy exits his eyes, and he reclaims a little lucidity as he starts to run away from the area, bringing us to Aura. I'm going to take a wild guess as to what you're going to do. Anything you want to do on your turn besides cast a big portal spell?
No, I'm just going to cast it in front of myself on this walkway so everybody from both sides can get to it.
So, roll me another wisdom check. Just a flat wisdom check.
Okay. 19.
19 is amazing. How big do you want this portal to be?
I want it... Grim's a big dude, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Big enough for Grim.
I mean,
the largest person in our group to fit through.
You can make it like as big enough for one person to fit, or you can make it the size of the entire room. That's where we're at with a 19.
Okay, with that, I want to make it big enough to only pull this area, not making it big enough for Iggan to join us, but to reach Bo and Ellie, Grim.
Bigger than this?
Oh my.
A little smaller.
Okay.
Just a little bit smaller than that.
There.
Yeah.
Okay. And where do you want it? Or, in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this on the token layer, and I'm just going to give you control of it.
Can I move it?
That giant thing there, you can move. Yeah, move it around.
But can I move it as aura?
You can open it this round. You feel like you can probably move it next round. Or in a moment, you know. And what does this look like as well? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, this is
How
awesome.
are you manifesting this portal?
I imagine my eyes go white and the green veins on my face glow gold, and it looks like when you drop a pebble in water and it ripples, and then the rippling slowly grows bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's just this pool of golden water that forms, and it kind of tears into the magma and the rocks, and it looks like an oasis in this mess of a room.
Yeah, this huge thing erupts and opens and begins to fill the area between where Ellie and Child Bo are, where you and Grim are, and you see Kalugi kind of running as he kind of opens his eyes and sees this thing too. The thing is open. You're pretty sure it's stable and
Pretty sure. All right.
pretty sure. Hello everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back. Sorry, my OBS crashed. It ripped the stream there. If you're watching on a VOD of some kind, then it probably didn't change much, but that would explain where we went for the live stream, and also why there's no chat for some of the VODs that you're watching. Good luck. Welcome back though. Technology, it works so well. Somehow it's 2020 and everything works perfectly as we dreamed of. Remember all the people is anyone old enough to remember when the year 2000 dropped? And everyone was like, we're gonna have flying cars by 2001. And it's like, OBS can't even run a stream for 3 hours flying cars. Okay, well, it's made me really angry, and you're gonna enjoy that as I now make this encounter a deadly encounter with my fury. Aura, it was your turn. I don't know exactly where we ripped, but I think I caught it very early, so I think you got most of your turn out. You opened a huge, great big portal here. You're pretty sure you can control it still. You're pretty sure it's stable. I said that it seems to be holding, that you've opened this thing up. It's not something you're having to concentrate on necessarily, but it is something that is yours. It's your spell that you're holding up. You don't have to concentrate on it. If you wanted to end it, you feel like you could. And it's also not really a spell, so that's probably why it feels like that. It's more of you're just accessing this this ability of yours, as all of you are doing here in this mind hole. A control over this thing that you just understand somehow. You've willed into existence. So you were going to do something, I think it was a little while ago. What was it?
I wanted to see if I could just make it a titch bigger.
You can.
So I can have it. So Grim could technically jump from where he is into it, and then Bo and Ellie just have to run like a foot into it, and then Suna and I can run into it, and Kalugi's still all over there.
Right.
I'll wait for him. You go on ahead.
I'm gonna wait till we're all through, and I'm gonna look over at Kalugi. You gotta come on.
He's literally like running as fast as he can. He his hair is out behind him as he's running forward. He runs kind of like, you know how Jack Sparrow runs along that beach in that movie?
Yes.
He's kind of running like that. Like his arms and legs are everywhere, but he's running as fast as he can. And you see him kind of nodding at you and not even sparing the moment to breathe and shout at you as he runs as fast as he can towards where you are.
I'm just gonna call to everybody, jump in. This is our way out, and pray everybody does that.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
Well,
What is this, Aura?
It's a portal.
How did you do this?
I don't know, it just felt right.
Are we supposed to
Alright.
think of a place? I say as I like rub my knee.
We can. I mean, we might as well. Or I can think of a place. And I look around at all of them. Where do you want to go?
Perhaps not say it out loud. Perhaps you just take us there.
Remember that place you almost got in a fight with someone else that was here? And I don't name it, I don't say it, just like, yeah, remember that place? We can go back there. And then I start like, well, when it's my turn, I start walking over.
I say, do you want to stay here? Or do you want to go somewhere else?
I look at Grim and I'm like, are we taking them with us?
Grim is holding onto this rock like Mufasa, just kind of like holding on as he's witnessing this thing open up, and you lot are looking around. He says, I don't care where the fuck it takes me, I'm jumping in. And he just lets go. He just fucking lets go of this rock and he slides down the side of it towards where the edge of this is.
We trust you, Aura.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going in no matter what.
Go with your gut.
All right. So I don't say what I'm thinking, and I just nod. And I see Grim slide into it.
Where are you
Kaluki,
thinking?
come on.
I'm thinking I can't remember the name of the bar.
Huh?
That the bar that we met Grim at.
Okay. It was called the...
Oak and Shield or something. Owl and Oak, or I don't know.
Flute and Owl
Some with
Bear.
an owl, right?
Flute and Owl
Flute
Bear.
and
Owl
Owl
bear.
Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. So you think of that bar. And...
Well, I think of the room that we rented.
Okay.
Specifically.
Yep. You see this, as you do all of this stuff, this portal thing, this rip opens, this thing that you've created, and Iggan is smiling, and as soon as you begin doing this, that smile vanishes. His eyes flick towards what this thing is. They widen for the first time, and then they flick back to you, and he appears to be utterly flabbergasted. There is no disguising it at all. He is beyond shocked at what is happening, and he says,
No. What is that? What
I
are you
smiled
doing?
for the first time.
How is this possible? This power is not yours. You couldn't contain that power within your mortal form. What is this? What are you?
I don't look at him.
blown away by what is happening. He holds both of his hands up, points them both at Aura, and fires 2 Eldritch Blasts at her. Which I need to roll on this, don't I? Because they don't work on the thing. 1, 2. Wow, that's a natural 1. Let's see what the fuck this does. See what the natural 1. In fact, Aura, roll me a d20. Let's see how much fucking control you've taken back from him. In
14.
This realm.
Nice.
14 is nice. I guess I have to reinterpret that a little bit though. He holds both his hands up, and then you see the first hand that's gonna fire, his right hand, he snatches it back as if burned, and it dissipates the energy that's in his other hand as he
Impossible. No.
And he continues to look at you. It seems whatever is happening to him, he fucks up. His energy wanes, and I think also he appears smaller. He seems to be a little smaller, and with every moment, or with every few seconds, he's almost shrinking down from the very large, huge version of himself that's there on top of this pillar. His eyes keep shooting back and forth between this void that's opening up and you. Grim lets the fuck go of this this thing here, and you just see him slide down, and then that was the wrong token. See him slide down into the into this thing that that you've created, and he goes. Well, I mean, what happens? What happens when he goes into this thing? This is your mind hole now, Aura. What how does it appear? What do we see in this portal?
Like inside of the portal?
You can literally narrate to me what happens as Grim lets himself slide into it. Eh?
I feel like he slides into it, but he's so big that it's like a cannonball in a way, and there's just like a splash. But you see no water kind of erupt, but just like the environment splashes. And he kind of disappears into a ripple, and then it's just quiet.
Yeah. That's exactly what happens. He vanishes if he slides into some water or something and ripple, and then he's gone. No trace of him whatsoever, bringing us to Suna.
How far away is Kalugi?
Kalugi is pretty far. He has, he is not going to make it this turn.
I will ready an action to jump into the portal when everyone else has made it. And I will wait.
Okay. So you're readying a dash action,
Yes.
technically, I think. Bo, what do you want to do?
Alright.
6-year-old Bo, missing 2 teeth, standing up
Ew.
on the ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in.
All right. What does it look like, Aura?
I mean, it's similar. It's like you jump into it, and it's like you're encased by warm liquid, but you're not wet. You just feel warm and comfortable. And I'm assuming, Brad, that you slide back into the place that I was thinking, the room we rented at the bar. And it's like you slide, or can I not assume that yet?
You'll find out where
Okay.
you sent Bo in a minute.
Okay. Well, you feel warm and you feel cozy
Yes,
as you
that's
enter the what feels like liquid, but it's not liquid.
And Bo is gone. Out of curiosity, can you still see the map, Disby?
No,
Did
I
it all-
can't.
It all went black.
No, I can still see the map that they're all in.
Ellie, your turn.
I chase after Kid Bo
Hey,
and I go in.
nice.
Oh.
Yeah. And same thing, Aura, I guess. Just slides into
It's like
this.
a warm hug,
Yeah.
or like you're wrapped up in an electric blanket.
Which we've been in it before, right?
Well, this can be whatever Aura wants it to be. This is, I guess, slightly different. I mean,
I
really,
feel a
it
warm
is.
hug.
It's great.
Okay, yeah, warm
My
hug.
cold body feels warm.
Oh, yeah, you feel warm for the first time in a while. Kalugi runs all the way down here and then runs to about here. Yeah, he's just running. As he's legging it across here. He's skirting around the edges of the lava, you know, like the back end of one of his boots catches a piece of lava, a flicker of fire as it leaves a trail behind him, and he runs as fast as he can, kicking up dirt and stones. He's just running flat out towards this thing. Your turn, Aura. You want to do anything?
Yeah, I would like to move the I'm gonna call it the portal.
Mhm.
I'm gonna swing it over, and I'm gonna engulf Kalugi with it.
Yeah. You
While
can do
he's
that.
running
you
at
can
us.
move that portal wherever you want.
Okay, I'm just gonna swing it. I'm gonna make it a little larger too, if I can, so that Suna and I can just step in after I swing it wide.
Okay. Boom. And yeah, Kalugi is like running around the edge of this lava when suddenly this thing like moves, this ripple of the area. Everything around it distorts as this kind of strange distortion of this lava, the rocks, the cavern move towards him, and he instinctively slows down, holds his arms up, and then he is gone as this thing eats him up like a giant portal sandworm creature. So you swing that thing around. You have to kind of hold it there. Are you jumping in yourself, or are you standing here?
I'm gonna look over at Suna.
I take your hand. Let's go.
And can I make it a little, or can I swing it onto Suna and I, so we both just disappear into it?
You both
I
can
readied
move
it.
in. She's got a ready
I readied an
reaction to
action.
jump, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
can use your movement.
As soon
I
as
can just
we
go with
jump
you.
in, though, I want the portal to close directly behind me.
Yep. So you both jumping in?
Yes.
Yeah.
You both jump in. There is a strange sensation for each of you as you are not teleported to this place in Bologna, outside of this bar, the Flute and Owlbear, you are simply returned to your bodies. You are returned to pretty much exactly where you were before. As you reappear,
Shit.
almost all of you suddenly almost kind of awaken. And you feel cold. You go from feeling very, very boiling hot to freezing cold. Let's see here. Depending on really how much HP you lost, how much spell slots you lost, and how many abilities you used, depends on just how much of your body is covered in ice. And let's see here. You don't see any of these guys. These are actually over here. You guys are over here now. And Bo needs to roll me a Constitution saving throw, because Bo returns to his older body, but there is also a secondary thing happening to Bo as he returns here. I'm pretty sure I did this earlier on, but I definitely did not, apparently. Move all of these tokens back to where I needed them to be.
Oh my god, I'm back to normal!
You're sort of back to normal. But what you did in there was activate your hidden bullshit. You were successful in doing it, and you return to a world which is covered in snow and ice and is a overwhelming experience for you, to say the least, as you return now with your new elemental abilities, which you can now use and have access to. Now, first of all, Suna, everyone's body, everything returns to how it was. So Suna, you have 20 out of 23 HP. You have, and do you know what? I can just send you this. If you want to check the Discord, I will show you what you all had, because I took notes. Your spell slots and things return. You had, your slots were this. Does that mean anything to you? If not, I can remember what I wrote.
Yes,
Aura,
thank you.
had 9 out of 29 HP. You also still
I had
have...
17.
You sure? You took
Yeah, I was
a lot
healed.
of
Bo
damage
healed me
before you went in.
to the portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, last session, Bo healed me.
Okay. I just took a record of what was on your character sheets when you, before
Yeah,
you
'cause mine
went,
says-
before the last session began.
Says 17 when I pulled it up today.
Okay. You have, you had these, and I think you had no spell slots.
Yeah.
Bo, you had this, 26 of 36 HP. You have no bardic inspirations. You had 1 spell slot at first level, and Ellie had full HP, and Grim had 46 HP because he's a fucking tank, and Kalugi was full apart from his 1 Sedai ability. And you return. You're not completely encased in ice. It's almost as if it's creeping up your body. You have, you find yourselves stood around this orb, this thing which is maybe only a foot across, or a foot sphere, and half embedded in the ground. It is, as far as you can tell, it just looks like lightly lit glass, thick glass maybe. You can't see anything inside, but it does appear to have an energy inside that is providing it with its own radiance. Jacquin, aka Iggan, in this human form with his wings still, he does look a lot more like a succubus, is standing there with his hand on the orb thing, his eyes rolled up in the back of his head, and his wings kind of spread at full wingspan. These huge kind of leathery, almost bat wings outwards. His tail whipping around, kind of like a cat when a cat is angry, or, you know, they do that kind of curling snake-like twist. Around you there are several of these little creatures with their long noses, the white mephits with their wings, and a couple of devoted followers, though none of them seem to even be aware that you have woken up in the moment that you do wake up. You return, and each of you have at least your feet are covered in ice, locked in these big, thick ice cubes, but doesn't feel too difficult to snap out of. This isn't like you're welded in place. None of you are restricted in your movement, but you do have to sort of actively tell me that you're breaking out of the ice if you want to break out of the ice. And it's almost as if this ice was creeping up around you while you were trapped inside this thing. And as you are pulled back to this reality, it's like waking up. You know, you wake up from a nightmare, a harsh sleep, and suddenly your senses are overloaded very quickly with the heat to the cold, and suddenly the aches and pains that you had are gone and replaced with the ones that you had when you went in. You probably feel better, but also kind of worse at the same time with the added element of the cold. And I think you get the sense that not much time has passed, but also that the time wasn't necessarily relative, how long you were in there. Other than that, everything seems to be fine. They don't seem to have like stripped you of your clothing or taken any of your stuff away. Maybe some of your elements are nearby or on the ground around you, but it looks like you've just been dragged over here to be closer towards where this thing is. Each of you is arranged around where this orb is, closer to it as if you've been placed there. But your bodies are all kind of stuck in the position that you're in whenever this wave hit you, kind of thing. Some of you are kind of probably standing ready and grim, kind of with his sword in his hand, as if you were frozen on the spot. The only person who really suffers a terrible thing here is Bo. When Bo went in there, he was not a water elementalist. Now that he's come out, Bo is hit by this strange kind of overwhelming sensation. Where did I write it? I don't know where I put it down, but oh, here it is. So yeah, so you rolled an 8 on your con save. And how many spell slots do you have left? 1.
1.
And how much HP do you have?
26.
Okay. So let me just pull my calculator out. So roll me a d6. One. And you... Okay, so you lose 1 HP. You also lose... I think you just rolled a 1, actually. Yeah, you did. You just rolled a 1. You put a space, I think, between the 1 and the d6. You just wrote /roll 1 by accident. So 1, no space, d6, 1d6. Bam, 4. So you lose 4 HP, and you lose 1 spell slot, which is your only spell slot. And so what is happening to you is that you are suddenly overwhelmed as you come back to the real world with this new ability to kind of read innately, understand, sense, feel, and even control water, ice, frost, cold. It's everywhere. And I think instead of being prepared for it or maybe understanding it fully, you're just hit by it, and it hits you like a truck as you feel a sensation of just kind of how much water there is on the planet. You get this echolocation of all this water that's sitting on top of this planet. There's so much of it. There's deep water, there's rainfall, there's fog, all this stuff. There's the sweat on people, there's the water in their bodies, there's people drinking water. You can sense water in cups of people drinking things nearby. It hits you instantly, this overwhelming sensation. And also, there is snow everywhere. It is snowing almost in the entire globe, all of Lacrin, apart from a few very small spots, which, if you wanted to, you could sit and pinpoint locate where there isn't snow. But right now, you just get this reverb as all of this overwhelming sensation hits you, and you begin essentially bleeding mana. The elementalist ability, the magic and stuff, kind of just hits you and overwhelms you, and I think it ruptures something somewhere, and you take a little damage. It probably in the form of maybe like a strong headache or something like that at first, and for what we see, Bo has this moment where all of his veins kind of glow an icy blue. All of the veins that are on the surface of his body, which is now an old man again. He's no longer a child, but this pulse of energy hits him as you unlock officially your actual body, your hidden ability, but not naturally because you did it within this thing. And you take a little damage before you steal yourself. You lose that one spell slot. It's sapped from you in the same way when you use whatever you draw from to cast your energy is absorbed to take some of the impact of this, and the carryover hits you and physically harms you in some way, which, for intents and purposes, is psychic damage. So however you want to perceive that to have happened to you and whatever's going on is what happens there. You get hit. It hurts. It's a lot of energy. You now probably have a pretty bad migraine. And,
I would imagine so. I'm probably hurling in front of everybody because of the intensity,
the
intense
pain.
Yep.
But then, as it dissipates, you begin to localize your thoughts and you kind of think through it again. That moment in Man of Steel where she tells him to just focus on her voice or whatever, that kind of focusing happens as you begin to control it again and feel more like yourself. And again, you feel now for the first time just how much water, ice, and the fact that you're in tune with it now, very naturally. You are a water bender. You can sense it and you can get funky with it and you can twist it. You do have the mechanics of your character sheet, but if you want to say, Brad, can I try this? Then we can always potentially roll things for it if you want to try and do things like that. When it comes to pretty much outside of combat, you guys are all kind of free to attempt almost anything. If you want, you can be like, hey, Brad, can I fly? And I'll be like, well, let's see. Jump off the thing and we'll see what happens. But in combat, you're limited more to mechanics because that saves, anyone from just being like, okay, I bring all of the snow in the world and just collapse the world in under its power. And, you're probably not quite at that level yet. Like a level 1 water elementalist. If you want to do sense things, control things, understand things, you're going to have a lot easier of a task if it's something to do with water and cold and things. You're very much in control, or at least in touch with that element of nature now. And you know it as well, and that's why I'm giving you a lot of information bomb here. So each of you wakes up, Bo maybe cries out, or return to the state that you were in. You kind of grab your bearings, and I'm going to roll 2 dice. One for the Mephits. Wow, they're blind. And 2 of these devoted guys, they're kind of standing, they're not talking, none of them are talking or anything like that, they're just kind of standing to attention. They're looking away from you. All these guys are looking away from you. One of them looking down one hallway where these people are in their own blocks of ice, and another one looking down another hallway that seems to lead into a set of rooms that are all a bunch of doors, basically doorways that lead to smaller rooms, maybe quarters or something like that, down the hallway that you didn't come down, which is this direction. This hallway you can see leads all the way outside, open door, and you also see Iggan, Jacquin, standing there. His eyes are rolled up in his head for now. He doesn't appear to have left this illusionary world that he created and trapped you in just yet. What do you guys want to do?
I fire an arrow at the orb.
Hey, okay. Anyone else want to do anything else?
Yes. Do we have a turn order?
Not really, unless, I want to see what you all do immediately. You kind of all can just do one thing in this instant moment here. Like the first thing Ellie's doing, she's not even snapping her feet out of the ice. She just brings this arrow in and that's what's happening there. But at the same time, what do each of the rest of you do? Oh, I think probably you're just being sick.
I would like to cast a spell on my dad.
Right. What spell?
I would like to cast Mind Spike.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my sorcery points to bump it up. at a higher level, and I will use my inspiration to hit.
Yes.
I can do that.
Phoebe got an inspiration for saving the stream today, by the way. I give inspiration outside of the game because I never remember it exists in the game. So if people are nice to me, I'm like, hey, you get an inspiration. And PB saved an issue we had with Zoom to get us, our faces weren't showing up because there was an update. And she came up with a genius plan and fixed it inside of 1 minute. And I was like, you get an inspiration point. Yeah, okay, so that's what you do. We'll roll for that in a second. Aura, what are you doing?
Right. I see Ellie pulling back her arrow. I'm gonna pull my sword out and I'm gonna run at the orb and try to break it as well.
Okay. Kalugi, I think all Kalugi does is kind of try and snap out of the ice. He holds up his hand and the ring is on his finger now. You don't have it anymore, Aura, for the just so you're aware. And you just hear the cracking of the ice as he starts to shake it off of himself. And he checks his finger. And Grim does a very similar thing to Aura. He holds up his sword aloft and runs forward, although he appears to be heading for Iggan, for Priest Jacquin. So give me all your attack rolls and spell castings and things. Bo is just kind of barely holding on for a moment as he grips his head and then maybe keels over and holds a mouthful of sick in or lets it go.
Is this considered assassination?
I don't think you can assassinate an inanimate object, so I don't think so.
Oh, I just thought it was going to interest in the combat. Oh, yeah. I got a 12.
So mine actually doesn't need an attack roll. He just has to do a wisdom saving throw.
Alrighty then.
I don't know how that works if he's
right there. He's still got to do it.
Problem not mine.
He is there. He's just kind of stunned, I guess, at the moment. Okay, so two hits from you two. Let's see what damage you do to the thing. Or you're probably here for the record because you've got to hit it melee range. Or actually you can move yourself within 1 square of wherever this blue thing is. You don't have to be stood next to it, Iggan, if you don't want. Okay, that is a 15?
No, a 16. That's a fail then for him. Ha ha ha. Right?
Let's see here. As all of this suddenly happens in one go, Ellie fires an arrow. Aura brings up a greatsword and brings it down on the
orb. Do I get sneak attack because Aura's in range? Or was it like in the process of her getting there?
Yeah, I don't even know if you get sneak attack on an inanimate object either, because you're not really sneaking on it. It's not distracted. It just is what it is. So I don't understand exactly.
I thought the rules were just as long as in whatever you're attacking, as long as someone's in range.
Is it whatever you're attacking? I don't know. I've never thought about this. I've never really sneak attack on object. I'm gonna Google. Stupid question. Can you sneak attack a building? No, you may not. It says.
Okay. I mean, you can sneak attack a building. It just won't know it because it's not real. It's an inanimate object. Okay.
I don't know if there's an official ruling, but pretty much the first thing says objects are not subject to critical hits and thus not subject to sneak attack. What? I mean, is that even? Am I even in 5e? We'll say no for now because it seems weird. I mean, sneak attack is essentially that the person you're attacking is distracted by. Normally, if they were fighting someone, they'd be distracted by aura, right? They'd be fighting with aura, clashing swords,
so
or they don't know where you are.
I need to go a cat race. Therefore, I get sneak attack on objects as well.
Oh, because it's a cat and they're not very good. All right. Yes.
Thanks, Cat.
If you were a tabaxi, then you would have sneak attack on glass tumblers. Grim needs to roll an attack roll. Give me 1 second. I still have way too many character sheets open. Now this is with advantage. So, wow, he is still going to miss. I think he probably breaks out of the ice and just runs forward. and doesn't get to Iggan before this ice thing explodes. This thing explodes in an arcane burst of glass and magic, and I need everyone around the thing within 15 feet. So let's see. Yep, that's not Ellie. That's all these guys, not these guys, and not Suna. So Aura, Grim, Jacquin, Kalugi, Bo, and those two dudes there. I'm just gonna roll for them real quick. Fail. Fail. And Jacquin makes it somehow. But yeah, did I say strength? Or con? What did I say? Hang on, what did I write down? Strength save. Please, from Bo, Aura, Bo and Aura. Fail for Grim. And fail for Kalugi, yes. So fail, 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 fail. Everyone fails except for Iggan, which is hysterical. Actually, no, he should have disadvantage. Hold on. Okay, he fails too. Everyone fails. Okay. And that is this much damage you're about to take. And you also fall over. Wait, no, that's wrong. 15 bludgeoning damage. This thing in the center of the room just explodes. It is so loud as this thing lets out a chime and a ring. Your ears hit first as Aura, you are just slammed to the ground as usual, pushed backwards a little bit. This thing pushes everyone away. Everyone falls over. Even Grim, who's like running towards Iggan with his sword thrust out in front of him, is suddenly knocked off as if hit by a concussive blast here. Kalugi kind of hits the wall behind him and is knocked prone. Aura prone. Grim prone. These two are dead, which is hysterical. This guy gets caught by some glass that strikes him in the neck. This Mephit thing is in midair before it gets hit by a concussive wave, and you see it twist and turn over itself before it itself explodes in the air, because they explode right into steam. And everyone is now super hyper aware of the bunch of you that are here, which is why I need a set of initiatives once again.
Don't forget the damage for the Mind Spike against dear old Dad.
Oh, I have not forgotten.
Okay.
I have not and shall never forget what you have done to my beautiful Iggan. I never forget what any of my players have done to my lovely NPCs.
Okay, well, I want it. There we go.
My wonderful villains over the years. I remember them all. And you're actually, for now, only fighting these guys. The three things. So, Aura, you are prone. Kalugi is prone. And it probably won't matter too much, but prone. And Bo is prone. The prone means that you are on the ground. It means that you have to use half of your movement to stand up before you do whatever you are going to do. There is this horrendous noise, which I'm not going to play because it's just gonna be annoying. But imagine the sound of like chalk, like a fingernails on a chalkboard, or that one of those kind of sounds, or the sound of like metal on metal, or like when you scrape a fork along a ceramic plate. That kind of a horrible raking sound as you almost as soon as you smash this thing, there is just a horrible sound emanating constantly from this broken thing. In the ground here, there's just this shattered broken sphere. There's like blue smoke pouring up from it. There's this arcane energy with a glow, which is slowly dissipating. And Priest Jacquin, as soon as you smash this thing, as soon as he's hit by a mind spike, falls and kind of just crumples in on himself, just falls down, limp to the ground. Does not say anything, doesn't appear to be conscious, doesn't appear to be awake, eyes still in the top of his head, his wings fold over him, and we are now going, and that's 12 and 6. These guys near you suddenly turn on you and start running at you. Is everyone on here? Who am I missing? Grim, Lugi. Am I missing someone else? Or oh no, I'm not. And let me just roll real quick for these guys. And that is that, and that is that, which brings us very first to these two method things launch towards you. Let's see here. 1, 2. This method here flies over towards you, Ellie, first. As it just flies haphazardly towards one of you. This one flies towards Grim, and the two creatures are now going to attempt to attack you. So this thing just tries to rake at you with its claws. Ellie, on an 15, sorry. Does that hit?
No.
This thing just flies towards you. You see its claws reach out towards your face, and just at the very last second, you dip down underneath it, and it flies over your head. It turns around and begins to fly close around you as if it's coming back again for a second strike. Same thing happens with Grim. Grim is on the floor, actually, so that's advantage. So a 19 actually hits. This thing rakes a claw across Grim's head. Grim's kind of like on the ground, shaking his head, when suddenly it opens a wound from the back of his head across to the top. He doesn't have any hair on the top of his head. He's got a beard. And you just see it open a wound as he, busted, brings his head around to try and figure out what's going on. All of you kind of coming out from this spell. All of you also suddenly hit by a blast from this bomb that's just gone off in the middle of the room. And this thing scratches at Grit, dealing 4 slashing damage and 3 cold damage, bringing us to Ellie.
So I can't attack Iggan?
You can attack Iggan if you'd like. Yeah, he doesn't appear to be. He's not. He's completely incapacitated right now. But if you want to shoot stuff at him or whatever, you can. Yeah. There is a thing flying around your head trying to kill you, but sure.
Well, I'm gonna try and run from that, but I guess I would have to use my. What does it take to move? Break the ice?
Nothing. You can get out of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's not so much of it that you're like completely encased. It's just around your feet. For you, I don't think you even took any damage or anything in there, so you've probably got the least amount of ice on your feet, like little shoes.
Well, shoot. Yeah, I'm gonna actually attack the devoted.
Yep. Okay. Give me the attack
with my bow, and 18.
That is a hit.
I mean, it's just gonna do double.
You want to kill him? How do you kill him?
It's an assess. I see the thing flying around me, and I immediately, because there's 2 on that side, and I think I can get away from this one, if I try really hard. So I just kill him. I don't even know, nothing fancy, just kill him.
Okay.
I saw my movement and my dash, so I'm gonna try and like go down to here.
If you run out of this thing's
range
area.
Wait, no. Okay, so I'm gonna disengage then.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna
disengage.
disengage.
Do you have a bonus? I think you can, right?
Yeah. So I can disengage and then move. So I can only go 30, I guess. I'm gonna go like over here next to Bobo.
Sure. Brings us to you, Suna.
And you said Iggan is unresponsive.
Yeah, he's just in a pile on the ground.
Is he dead?
You don't know. You can use one of your abilities as an action to work it out. It will be a lot easier to do if you were closer. Do like a medicine check, or you can even use your own little special ability as a.
I think fuck him, and I would much rather make sure Aura is okay. So I go over next to her, and I use a healer's kit.
I fucking haven't seen one of those in over 100 years. A healer's kit. What the fuck can you do? I've forgotten.
I have no idea.
It's
Actually.
been
I just
so
know I have
long.
3 of them.
As an action, you can expend 1 use of the kit to stabilize a creature that has 0 hit points without needing to make a wisdom medicine check. So
Well, then
it doesn't
useless.
actually heal.
It doesn't heal her. All right then.
Yeah, but that's what it does
that
if
case-
someone is on death saves.
That's good to know. In that case, I will just break out of the ice.
10
and
actions
I will.
on that, by the way, if you want to make a note of that.
Yeah, I'll do that because I have 3 of those kits. So.
Oh my god. Okay, well, fuck it.
Okay, I will cast a firebolt at this mephit here.
Okay.
That's attacking Grim.
Okay. 9 is a miss, I think. Probably.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. Yep, that is a miss. How does it look? What do you do?
I think I'm distracted. I'm trying to look at Iggan and see if he's going to get back up all of a sudden. It couldn't have been that easy, and I'm uncomfortable about it. And I just miss.
Yeah, this firebolt whiffs over the top of this thing's head. It kind of flies a little lower. It starts to arc around Grim again. Grim stands up, just wildly swings his sword into the air. This thing avoids it. It flies up around him. There's this terrible sound that's still so loud, screeching from the middle of this thing. And yeah, Grim misses on his attack, which I made. Brings us to Bo. What do you want to do, Bo?
The hell is that?
All right, so considering I have ice around my feet as well, but now that I am attuned with ice and water, could I perhaps control the element that's around my feet?
Yes, you can. With your brand new cantrip, Control Elements.
All right, I'll do that then.
Yes, so you can mold naturally occurring aspects of the element of your choosing, which is ice, allowing you to reshape or move it. You can deal 1d4 of your choice, so you can just fire this in shards towards one of these methods if you'd like.
All right.
And yeah, give me a d4. I guess you literally can just always hit. Amazing. Homebrew, dudes. 3. Yeah, like a bunch of pieces of ice crack and break underneath Bo. Are you like doing anything with your hands? Are you doing some like avatar stuff? How does it look? How do you do this and launch these things?
Well, I guess I close my eyes to kind of like meditate and get in tune with this new ability that I have, and I'm going to use my hands and kind of like shift the and mold the ice and make it look like pikes, sharp blades of sorts, and hit the iced manfit that's close to Grim.
Nice. Yeah, and you do so, and all of these little bits fly up. It's flying around. You see 2 or 3 little shards of ice hit it as it flies. It reacts to them. Somehow, this is so powerful, and I will never change it. You have... That is a bonus action, so you still have a full action. You could do that with one hand and fire a crossbow bolt with the other if you want.
You know what, Brad? I think I'm going to do just that.
As long as you're near water or ice, you can deal 1d4 damage on a bonus action every turn if you want. It's ridiculous, but I like it. And it'll probably undo me one day, but here we are.
All right. Well, if that doesn't do it, I'm going to then pull out my crossbow, get attuned with my, elementalist ability once more, and cast the ice over on my arrow.
Oh yeah, you can do that too. You can overlay a bolt with your thing. Although that takes you an action to do, so you won't fire the bolt this time.
Okay, gotcha. Alrighty.
And if memory serves, let me... can you give me that spell as well? Just click it.
Sure. Elemental overlay. That's the one.
Yeah. You overlay your magic of your weapon with elemental power, water or frost. If you overlay a weapon, you may replace your melee attack. Blah 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 blah. Damage type is converted to any elemental damage. It lasts. Oh, it's up to a minute. Okay. I couldn't remember if it was like 8 hours or a minute or something. Okay. So yeah, you can do that. Oh, this is a bonus action as well, actually. So you need to pick. You only have a normal action.
Okay. So then I guess I'll just attack regularly then with my crossbow.
Sure. Give me the attack.
All right.
Roll. 13 to hit.
Okay. 5.
5 damage. So yeah, you send a bunch of ice up to this thing. They hit it. The crossbow bolt goes off, flies through the air, catches this thing. It's super annoyed with you flying around. It sees you. It lets out its own little screech, and then it is well, he's dead. Aura's turn. Unless you want to move. Do you want to move?
No, I'm good.
Do you stand up?
Yeah, I do stand up.
Okay. So brings us to you, Aura.
Okay, if I remember correctly, none of my spell slots.
I put it in the Discord. Let's see.
Yeah.
You have. Oh, I don't know. I didn't check your spell slots. Do you remember? I don't think you cast any spells in there, did you?
I used all my spell slots. I didn't have anything left.
Did you use them in the thing?
In the
Genji
illusion?
thing? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Okay. Yeah, you have them all back.
Oh, okay. Can I use I've never done revert time before, but I kind of want to cast it on myself. I'll put it in chat. I think that's
You click on the speech bubble, I think.
I don't have a speech bubble. Sorry.
It's okay. I will look.
A creature you touch has its wounds revert back in time. The creature gains hit points equal to 1d6 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. Add 1d4 temporary hit points.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you can do this.
Okay. So, should I just roll it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna, click it. See what happens.
Okay.
Might just be a spell card. Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's okay.
That's also how we can read what it does. So, so roll a D, gains hit points equal to 1d6 plus your spellcasting ability. Your spellcasting ability is Wisdom. I recall us not giving you any spells that have spellcasting ability additional stuff because it's not very high. What is your Wisdom modifier?
11.
11, which means a 0, so it's a 1d6.
Okay.
1d6, and yep. So roll a d6, then roll a d4, and then roll a d2.
Okay.
Spell is insane. She's standing there like fucking. What's that fucking geezer called? Benedict Cumberbatch, Marvel movies. He's doing all that stuff.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. As she's doing all this stuff, time's rewinding. Her wounds are healing on her body. You get 3 HP back. You get 2 temporary hit points. Those are different to normal hit points, so make sure you put them in the temporary hit points spot.
Okay.
For learning, temporary hit points will always be taken before your main hit points do. So if you ever get temporary hit points or something, always draw from that. If you take damage first, they go out like a shield, and then your main hit points will go. You, on a 1 on the D2 there, you suffer fatigue from the casting, and you must spend your next turn recovering from this casting. So that's a whole thing. Although this is also a ritual, so basically, if you want to sit still for 10 minutes and concentrate, you can cast this spell without expending a spell slot.
Oh.
So you could do out of combat, you could do this over and over and over again, which I think is why that 1d2 is there. You know, there's an element of, potentially, I guess, I don't know, actually, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
By a fire or something, you could cast that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't make these spells, by the way. I stole them and hacked them. So
oh, you're frozen. Oh, there you go.
That's why they're funky.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I might adjust some of them to fix stuff properly, but that's cool. That's what happens to you. That is your action. You want to do a bonus action thing?
Yeah, I'd like to move.
Okay, so you've got to stand up. That's half your movement.
All right, so then I'll just move over to where I'm just gonna back straight up into this little crevice.
Yeah. Kalugi is watching you, and as you come backwards, he says, "Right, you're going to have to teach me how the fuck we got out of there in a minute." And he loads up a bolt and aims towards where the mephit is and fires it off. Because that was some special I didn't know you could do anything like that. I thought you just swung a sword around. He says,
Yeah, I mean, I'm very, I'm bloodied up and just looking worse for wear. I don't know if it's something I could teach you, Kalugi.
Well, no, that's probably true. I don't know if I'm willing to learn. And that's a hit. Boom. 5 piercing and then an extra radiant damage. Brings it to that amount of damage. And it is now the Ice Mephit's turns again. Let's see how they react. This one is going to go after Grim. This one is going to go after Kalugi. So, 2 more attacks coming in from these Ice Mephits. 1, 2. Grim is a hit. Another 4 slashing damage as he swings his sword. He's looking kind of drunk, you know, or hungover, one of the other, as he swings wildly, this blood running down his the back of his head and his neck, and another slice through the air as this thing deals another 4 slashing damage, and then 2 cold damage to Grim, who still isn't looking too worse for wear, but he just looks kind of punch drunk. And then 14, I think, is a miss on Kalugi. It is. So the other one just flies over Kalugi's head as he, fucking fuckers, I fucking hate those things, he says, sort of returning to his normal, odd self after the panic that was very evident on his face. And that brings us to you, Ellie. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna fire an arrow.
I'm gonna kill something.
I'm gonna go for the one at Grim because it's doing pretty good at hitting him.
Yeah.
24.
That is a hit. Yeah. Sneak attack. And how do you want to kill it?
I think I see it go for Grim, and I just immediately hit it in the body as soon as I can.
Yeah, and it's just caught in the air as it explodes, which I think means Grim has to do a save.
Uh-oh. I didn't mean that. Oops.
Yeah. Explode into just horrible steam and in a death burst. Next save from Grim. So yeah, I mean, you catch it and it just explodes. As soon as the arrow hits it, it just explodes into steam. And on a dex save, you see just Grim just immediately just dive down as it into steam, and he spins around and looks at you and says,
You're welcome. And I'm like in the middle of running past Sauna. And I'm gonna try and stealth.
Yes, you hide behind the indomitable form of Sauna.
Well, there's a shadow. There's a little bit of shadowing here too, so I figured I would just hide here.
I also like the idea that you're just standing exactly in the way.
I pull her dress out and hide behind it.
Like a curtain.
You can't see me now.
Technically not. Sauna, it is your turn. Firebolt, 25, hit. 10 fire damage. Fucking thing explodes. You...
Sorry, Kalugi.
Kalugi's got to make a dex save. Wow, he does the same thing. He sees this firebolt come in, and you just see him hit the ground as it explodes into steam. Both of these Ice Mephits kind of falling. Well, they're just gone, I guess. Actually, Ice Mephits explode into steam. These 2 devoted fellows are on the ground. They are quite dead. And you find yourselves in an empty room. The howling noise, that horrible sound of this orb which is smashed and broken. The smoke thins, the light dies within it, and now it just appears to be nothing more than normal broken thick glass in a broken shattered sphere. Suddenly noises from elsewhere focus. You can hear them again. You can kind of make out the sounds of the town outside. It's still nighttime out there. It seems like presumably it's not been the entire night. Time hasn't passed yet, unless you've been in here for multiple days, but it's night out the door. The people who were frozen in the hallway are screaming. There are about 8 people in these blocks of ice, and you can their screams are wild. 2 or 3 of them are not screaming. They appear to be passed out or dead, but they also have awakened from something. They've awoken from this thing, presumably in the same kind of thing, and they've awoken. They're cold, frozen, hurting, and they're screaming to a degree. Grim, standing up, holding his head, brings his sword up and says,
Well, off with his head, that's what I say.
He looks over towards you, standing over the corpse or the unconscious body of Iggan.
Do it.
I'm hiding.
Very well.
He brings the sword down. And you see Iggan's head roll across the ground. And
Can I walk over?
yes, there is a dark ichor that spills out from the neck, from the head. It rolls across the ground. The eyes still rolled up in the head. His form twists in on itself a little bit. There is black blood, thicker than blood, like oil that pours out from his neck. The body falls loose, but kind of curls in on itself a little as well, the wings. The head rolls over twice, and Grim puts his sword to the ground and leans on it a little bit and says,
Well, there we go. Demon killed.
Kalugi looks around and says, are we sure we're actually out? Can you find it? How can you could tell, right? You lot? What the fuck are you lot, frankly? And why the fuck did we need to come and kill this fucking thing? Now the job's done, you can be a little more open, wouldn't you say?
We weren't trying to kill anything. We were trying to get aid, and that failed miserably. So we're sort of back at square one.
Right.
I lean over. Is there anything left on his body?
He has priest robes.
Or
Give
is it
me
gone?
an investigation check. Or are you doing anything else?
As you're like looking, I think Ellie finally pops out of stealth and says, "Wait, didn't they talk when you cut the head off last time?" And I'm like looking at Kalugi.
Well, yeah, the one that I cut the head off, by the way, looked almost exactly like that. But his head, his eyes were, he was just still conscious, you know? I got lucky. I was a little younger and I managed to get his head off, you see? And then the blood, or whatever that is, was dripping out of his neck and it was still talking. But, well, he wasn't exactly awake when we chopped his head off, so... I don't know.
There's no way to pull him out of that whatever state he's in. I imagine that's what he was like, right? Whenever we were in that place, the imaginary place.
Well, I'm not touching his fucking head. If you want to
I'm
try
not
and wake
touching it
him
either.
up.
I'm good.
I'll touch it.
All right. He leans into Aura and quietly says, "Wait, is that really? Is that his daughter? So is she one of them?"
Oh, I mean, I think she's got some of his blood, but that doesn't make you the same kind of person.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm not saying nothing like that. I just didn't expect, I didn't know that was what was. You lot are very strange.
Some people might say the same thing about you.
He pulls out a flask and undoes it. You want some?
No, I'm all right.
All right. He drinks deeply from the flask. Grim also, I think, way more interested in the flask right now after everything. Stomps over.
Give me some of that.
Snatches it out of his hand, drinks from it. Hey, you're welcome. Owe me one. And Suuna walks over to the head of Iggan.
I'd still like to look at his body, though.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
okay.
So what are you looking for? Anything in particular? How are you searching his body is probably a better question.
Oh, yeah. I'm using my staff to poke at him and move his robes aside and see if he has anything, and then I'll probably lean down and I'm patting him down. I want to know if he has any fucking amulets or anything on him. Anything at all.
Give me an investigation check then.
16.
He has nothing on him.
Yeah,
he
I didn't think so.
A pair of trousers and a robe. Both of them kind of dirty, kind of old looking. No, not a coin, not a copper, not a flask, nothing. No pouch, no hidden pouch, nothing. Just his clothing.
May I roll a demon history check? Is it possible that this isn't, that this is a borrowed body? And that he's not actually dead?
You can indeed. Roll me dark eyes check.
9.
Yeah, don't know. It's not
All right.
something that...
It's just strange that he doesn't have anything on him.
Yes, but also you don't... Yeah, I don't think you know what he can do or whether he can
All right.
flip into another body or anything like that.
Then I sigh. I'm a little confused. I think yeah, and then I pick up his head.
Okay. You pick up his head. As soon as your hand touches his head, the eyes roll down and look straight into yours. And there's a moment of confusion, I think, as his eyes suddenly dart around, and then probably a flicker of sadness, and then he looks back up into your eyes. And this oily kind of ichor is dripping and splatting. You can hear it kind of on the ground in front of you. This grotesque looking thing, this head of a beautiful man held by the hair, the small horns poking out from the sides. But yet all of the menace almost seems to have been drawn from him, and he says,
I suppose this is the end.
For you, yes.
Well, your question still intrigues me.
Which one?
Why do you want to find Lord Chippa?
I told you, we're trying to stop a god. And why do you only remember 8 cycles?
I don't know any of these things, but, well, it doesn't matter for me. I'm returning to Asmodeus. So be it. I will help you. Yes, I will help you. You can go and see my old master. He will finish the job that I could not.
How and where?
flicks his eyes over to where Aura is and says,
The Planeswalker.
What if she doesn't know where to go? If she's never been there before, how does she do it?
Bring her to me. Or bring me to her.
I hesitate for a moment and I look over at Aura. By the way, his eyes aren't pointed towards her. I turn his head so he can't see. Is that all right?
I can hear them, correct?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I'll just nod at Suna. I'm sitting on the floor, just kind of, I'm injured, so I'm just kind of holding like my arm and just listening. So I nod like, yes, you can bring him over.
All right, but no funny business.
As she walks, you see Ellie like go complete opposite side walking away. Like doesn't want to be anywhere near the head. So
I walk over.
The trail of oil behind you as you bring the head of Iggan over towards Aura, and he says,
You will have to touch my face. My energy is waning.
I look up at Suna.
I'm right here.
And I'll take the hand that's kind of cradling one of the cuts on my arms, and I place it over his face, but it's like specifically his eyes.
There's an instant reaction. You get an image immediately presented to you. It is of this frozen landscape, these great big icicles that stick up out of the ground, these snowscapes, this lake of ice, which is so clear that you can see through it, just a sheen of light. There's an equal parts daylight and twilight to the area. There's sunshine, but yet there's a menace to the area. An open landscape of snow, and in front of everything sat upon this ice is what you know to be now Lord Chiba's palace. It looks a little something like this. This is the kind of image you get. Along with the image, you innately understand where this is. If you needed to, you can draw upon that innate power to open a portal and go there. You have the geo tag now. You can work out where it is. You also get the sensation that this place is very otherworldly. You've jumped from this place where you first got this power. You've been there, the boundary, which felt like an otherworldly place and another plane almost, and come back to the Kryn that you understand as your home. This again feels like that, but you are filled with a sense of dread immediately. You understand that this is one of the planes of hell. That you would have to open one of these portals that you can do and then take everybody through it straight into essentially hell. This is Stygia, the plane of ice. With his last kind of moments, Iggan says,
You have bested me. I would never have guessed. But I assure you, he knows now where you are. And he will finish what I have started. I am an insect. I am nothing compared to his power. He sees us. Goodbye, daughter.
His eyes roll up again, this time the energy waning from him. The last drop of Ica drops from his neck and hits the ground, small pool of oil, and
I cast fireball on his head.
And his head burns up and flames. What do you guys do?
I know where we have to go.
You all right, Aura?
I'm okay. How are you?
I don't know yet.
I turned back to them and I was like, are you sure? We should probably rest before we
Oh, yes. That's
no.
find this guy. So,
Also,
yeah.
my uncle's probably outside waiting for you to pledge yourself to him.
Oh, yeah, you were going to do that, weren't you?
Right.
We're not doing that. That's all right.
Well, he did nothing for us. I was only going to pledge myself if he was going to assist, but he did absolutely nothing.
That's right.
So
We'll be sure to
All in
explain
office
that to
agreement.
him. So, the demon. How are we going to get past that guy then? Are you going to stealth?
Can you do that fancy portal thing again?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I could try, or we could just pretend that he died and we're carrying him out. And at that point, he thinks he's dead, and so it doesn't matter.
Just have Grim carry him.
What? Well, we don't need to carry him. He is dead.
I can
Tell him to have a go look.
No, Bo.
No,
Yeah,
me.
we're
Like I play dead.
Oh, right. Well, that's a great idea.
That is a good idea, or we could just go out the back door.
He points down the other hallway.
Like there's a bet.
That's an even better
look out
idea.
the back door.
Yeah, you know what? I like the back door
It's
plan.
out to the docks.
Yeah, me too.
These
Okay.
people, though, they need our help.
Do
They're
they?
crying.
Well, then they shouldn't have got themselves into this mess. They can get themselves out, can't they?
Maybe we can send some people in here to help them out. Maybe get some officials to go in there.
Or we could just help them.
How are we gonna help them?
We'll tell them that they're all right and that where the nearest inn is.
Is that really? Do you think that's gonna help them? I mean, they just.
Well, it should. I mean, they just woke up in a. Imagine being tortured by a demon for however long they've been here. Have some compassion.
I just like look at her and I just don't have. I mean, I don't look like the person to have compassion. Where? How far away are these people?
They're like just down the hallway where you guys came in. They're like over here.
They're like weeping and crying, right?
Yeah, they're like just.
I'm the closest. I
Yeah.
walk up to the first one I see, and I like put my. I just like try to pat the back awkwardly, and I'm like, it'll be all right. You'll be fine.
They're like literally
look away.
inside of ice cubes, all the way up to their necks, right? They're completely.
Oh, we have to burn them out.
Yeah, we
like
have to
they're
get them out.
Or
completely
you know,
frozen in.
we don't have to burn them out. You know, I can just.
What do you think? Chip away? We could just chip away at it. Can I
Well-
take out my dagger?
Yeah, we could do that.
I mean, I am attuned with ice now. I can just break
What?
the ice.
What? Show me. Do it. Right here. This one. Right here.
Trying
a lot.
What do you mean you're attuned with ice?
I step out of the way.
Well, while we were in that whatever the heck that place was, I in a desperate act drank the vial that I was given, and I now am attuned with ice and water. So I'm gonna cast control elements and break free these prisoners.
Yeah, you can pretty much do what you want. Sorry, what were you gonna do?
Oh, I was just gonna say for flavor, can I cast frostbite just to see you interact with it? 'Cause
Sure,
I have
yeah.
an ice spell.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
You can sort of do what you want, Bo. You know, within like minimal trickery. You can totally break all of this ice. You can pull it like the ice off of them, kind of thing. Like you crack it
Yeah.
and control it, and just break the ice and pull it from them. It's not the type of thing where you can do like the whole thing. You're not Rey Skywalker. You can
Okay.
you don't get to just be like, I control all of the rocks now immediately with all this power. You can break the thing and chip away at it and bring the things down and whatever.
Yeah, I'll just chip away gently so that they
Yeah.
can
I would
kind of
say
break free
doing
themselves.
I'll like pull away the big pieces as well, like pull it off of them if I can to help out.
And I mean, you guys can
Yeah.
work for a little bit here to free these people. I think there's a
Yeah, to assist.
5 minutes where those of you Kalugi is helping, Grim is not. He's sitting down and he's like holding the back of his head, which is all cut up and bleeding, and he's got a couple of little knife wounds from the fight outside still, and it actually seems
Totally
to be
doesn't have an arrow wound either.
right. He's kind of weakened a little. He seems to be kind of patching himself up and just checking himself over, while you guys, Bo, cracking the ice, removing the ice from these people, and they fall out. Aura catching them, Ellie moving some of the ice away, and Sauna checking them, tending to them. So 6 of them are here. I think I said 8, but it was 6 that are standing in this thing. All of them are alive. 2 of them are unconscious, and
Yeah, right.
mostly they're like thankful, right? Each of them is thanking you for the most part. They're kind of frozen. All of them have got like frostbite and stuff. They explained to you they've been in there for a day, that they were told it was an initiation rite, and then after that day there was like a blank out where they were kind of in like a strange environment by themselves. These people stuck together in this odd icy landscape by themselves, trudging through snow. And then suddenly they were brought forth, and all of this pain and stuff was returned to them. One of them is still kind of is a little frustrated with you at first, kind of he muttering to himself, Auril, this is the work of Auril, you should not have broken me free. And he starts to maybe break down and cry, and then he runs out of the front of the place, leaving 5 of them, 2 of them unconscious. The 3 people that are with them help the 2 that are unconscious, thanking you, and they tell you that they're going to leave. They grab a couple of items of clothing, and then they look like they're going to leave through the entrance that you came in, the exit entrance that you came through. You guys are still planning to go out the back door, or do you go with them?
Yeah, we should also probably try to encourage them to go use the back door, because there's...
Right.
Yeah. There's another demon at the front door, probably.
Go to like step out the back. Or step out the main entrance. I stand in front of them and just like, you gotta go that way. And I'm not trying to intimidate them or anything. I'm just like, no. But I mean, I think Ellie kind of just looks intimidating on accident.
They seem compliant. Give me a persuasion check with advantage, Ellie.
Okay. 25.
They're just super compliant. Yes. Okay. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. Yes. We'll come with you. Just a few voices. One of them kind of holding another one up. You guys leaving?
Yeah.
Well, yes, but what about the unconscious ones?
They're carrying them.
Yeah. All right. I don't want to leave anyone behind.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So, you guys leave via the back entrance to this place. Takes you out to the kind of dockside that's outside, and it is the dead of night still. The street lamps that light some of the areas above where you are still on, but some of the noise from earlier on, there was a tavern on this bridge nearby that was in full swing, seems to have died down. There's no more commotion after the Mephit situation from before. There doesn't appear to be any town guard or town watch or anything, which is maybe a little suspicious. And you walk out on a dock, like a little under the tunnel. There's the bridge above you here. You're underneath this thing. The spires of the tower near you. At the end of the dockway, either side of you, you can walk all the way to either end and get back up to street level if you want to do that. Or you could technically, I guess, walk out onto the ice, which is frozen the canal in front of you. But that seems.
I look over at Bo. Can you walk on the water?
Oh, I mean, I don't know if that's possible.
That's wild. It's probably best that you don't do it in front of people anyway.
Yeah, I'd probably freak people out.
Yeah, quite.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just take the stairs.
No, I agree. Let's take the stairs.
All right. And where are you headed towards? Nearest tavern?
I'd say so.
Yes, very much.
Could all
so.
use that rest.
Or a doctor.
Big one on the bridge.
What?
There's a big tavern
I
on
would
the
say
bridge.
whatever one's closest.
Yeah, that's the one that's on the bridge. It takes
What's
you
the name of that one?
Let's find out what it's called. It is called the you shouldn't call it that. We'll call it the Naughty Spoon.
All right.
Oh, I've been to this one. No, I'm just
kidding. This is actually a very reputable place. It is a very large tavern and inn, although it is closed for the evening. You
What?
O and Ellie would be aware that you can still rent rooms. You can still get in there, but they're not serving drinks or food.
Oh, fuck.
Well, we can still get a room, but if you want something to drink, we gotta go somewhere else.
I am hungry and tired, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Oh yeah, food as well. We might as well go back to the one we knew.
Are they still open? Or are they all going to be like this?
That one's still open, right, Brad? It's open later.
Well, let's see. Roll me a survival check.
Okay. 13.
It's probably like 4 a.m.
Oh, okay.
You're probably pushing towards maybe even 5. It actually might be sunrise soon. Remember, it's summer
that's fine.
regardless of the snow. So probably nowhere's really open, but everywhere's going to open in a couple of hours.
I look back to Suuna and I say, we can just get a room and then I can go out and get some food for everybody and have it ready by morning. Everyone get a nap or something in.
Well, that's very, very nice of you, Ellie. But I'll go with you. I just need a couple of hours to rest.
Same.
But what are we going to do about these naked folk?
I look back at him and I'm like, well,
Is there like a place that the poor go here? Like a soup kitchen or something?
You want to drop these unconscious naked folk off at a soup kitchen?
just bring them in our room with us for now. When they wake up, we'll explain what happened.
That's not a great idea.
You don't want, maybe we get into a room for them.
People will misunderstand.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think people would very much misunderstand if we took unconscious naked people up to our room.
How many are
Also-
there again?
2.
I would pull out my cloak and put one on one of them.
There's
That's
a
nice of you.
middle-aged man among them, wide-eyed, frightened. He has sort of exhibited that he's nauseous and he's not with it. And he takes the cloak, he puts it on one of the people that is unconscious and says, I can just go home.
Right. You can do that, but where's the nearest doctor?
The doctor? Well, I don't think I can afford the doctor.
What? Well, you need to get looked at. What do you mean you can't afford a doctor?
I think I'll be all right. I'll take this
I
one.
think you should go to a cleric.
Oh, I don't know if I really fancy going to a cleric ever again.
Well, maybe not like, an extremist religious figure. I meant like, one
Like
of the
a
legit
cleric.
ones of one of the high cathedrals.
Like all clerics, extremist religious figures.
I agree with that.
No, I meant like that one. The giant demon guy that we just fought. Okay, you know what? Never mind.
What?
Grim, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Grim, can you help him? Can anybody help them?
He says he's fine.
Oh,
Send him
fuck
off
off.
home.
You know what? They're out. They can make their own decisions. I agree. We take the 2 unconscious, wrap them up in some cloaks until they wake up. We send them on their way.
I mean, I'm just gonna throw it out there. If they wake up and they're not good people,
Then we kill them.
What?
They're not. If they try to attack us, if they wake up, if they're bad people, which they could be bad people, but if they're bad people.
I'm too tired for this.
Okay.
I walk towards the
Okay. And as you're walking away, I'm like, okay. We knock them out. We don't kill them.
Look,
Is that
we
better?
don't-
I'll just go
yeah,
home.
That's
It's
so
all
much
right.
better.
I
That's
can just go
monumentally
home.
Send
better,
him
Ellie.
home. Just make him go
Just
home.
go.
Yeah,
just
to
go
make
home.
him go home.
We can just give them a little bit of money and,
I'll
and
just-
whatever food we
I'll
have
take some money
on
and
us
food and I'll go home. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, I will do that. I give him a one piece of gold, and whatever bread I have.
Now go see a doctor with that.
Yes.
Fucking hell.
And
Yeah.
go see a doctor.
I will. He lied to you.
Yeah.
Thank you for. I don't know what you did.
Well, we rescued you,
gone.
but
We saved
Fine.
you, but yeah.
farewell.
Grim is
He's running
watching.
away.
Yep.
A waste of money. He's gonna go spend it on hookers and booze.
A waste
Well,
of
you know
money.
what? That's on
Well,
him.
it
You know,
makes
we
me
did our
feel
part.
better.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we
I
did.
I don't feel anything, but you know that by now, so.
Did
Yeah,
someone
I'm
say
starting
hookers
to
and
see
booze?
that. I'm starting to. Yes, we did. Yes, that was mentioned briefly, but I think everywhere is closed right now.
Oh no, everywhere's closed.
We got a couple hours, and then you guys get a nap in. We go get some food when you wake up.
That sounds great. I'm imagining a very large breakfast platter.
Sounds good to me. Although I don't need food, but sounds good.
Oh, well, I say we head back to the float.
All right.
All right.
Whatever. I don't care.
It's all right. They know me. I'll get a bottle from behind the bar.
All right.
All right. He starts walking away. All right, so you lot are going to have to tell me who the fuck you are. As he walks off. And Grim, from behind where you are, starts trudging along behind you as well. With one hand on his head still, he says,
Yes, I think you lot are going to have to start telling us a bit more.
As each of you walks along. And I think that's where we're probably going to end the session. Oh, wait. No, we're not. Because there's going to be a final scene. As somewhere, far away, somewhere, in a little place called the Boundary, our good friend from the very beginning of the campaign, Ahi, the avatar of the gods, this thing that you guys met is floating in the center of that room that looks like an M.C. Escher painting, that one of the stairs that turn over each other, the walls that seem both close and far away, white, golden lines, light reflecting from nowhere, and then this alien figure with his multiple arms, the folds that make up this humanoid head, but still no eyes, no face, no mouth, nothing like that, his legs that hang down, these arms that twist and form strange patterns. And Ahi snaps his head, or its head, one way and says,
Found them.
And that is where we end today's session. Thank you so much for playing, players. You did it.
We had to get in the coffins, right?
Yes. The official way out. There were 3 ways out.
Gross.
3 ways out.
I was debating just going in, but I didn't.
The official way out was...
Our way out was more badass.
Yeah. And I wasn't sure whether you would attempt it or what, and things and stuff. And also it can go wrong. But let me... So each of you had a coffin that had a set of bones inside that represented each of you. As you got close to each coffin, you would hear something. If Suna had gone near her coffin, she would have heard the desert. If Aura had gone near hers, she would have heard the forest.
I'm glad I didn't.
Kalugi could hear his wife. And Grim could hear something else, but he never did because he's dumb and he never rolled high on his perception checks. Obviously, Ellie and Bo could hear the sounds of the city. There are the bones of each of you in there. They were your bones. Tiefling bones, humanoid bones with one eye of the skull, which was smoking for Suna. Kalugi's had a blunt silver blade next to him. Grim had he's just enormous, isn't he? His bones are huge. And Bo's was a skeleton with lots of hair. Aura was a tiefling, so you can tell her apart from the bones of a tiefling from where you are. And yeah, you just had to lay down. That was what you would have had to do to get out, to accept your death, to escape.
I did. Do I still have the envelope that I grabbed?
No, nothing that happened in there was real, and nothing that you brought out with you was brought out. But
I'll remember it.
Yeah, you remember it. You also can deal psychic damage to him, which is what Mind Spike is, and which is what the Vicious Mockery was. If you dealt enough psychic damage, it was actually affecting him on the outside. And obviously Aura is able to fucking create portals. She is a Horizon Walker Ranger. She can do these things, and it's a power that is just far greater than lovely Iggan. He was very strong, but compared to Ahi's gift here to unlock that and give you that ability to move around, there's almost nothing really that kind of matches that level of strength. So it was fair enough. However, you rolled your wisdom checks. They were contested wisdom rolls based on the dispel magic rules, to see if you could actually successfully do that, because it was somewhat you kind of willing yourself to be able to do it as well. So you also had to be strong enough mentally to bypass Iggan. You had to counter hack the computer things, which you did. You rolled, I think I rolled poorly on both of them, and you rolled high enough by far to do it. It was like 19 or something. So those were the 3 ways out. I figured that you would get to one of them eventually. Now there are all sorts of fun things for you to do next time. It was good that you did it. You came out. There was a last little bit where you have to mop up the bad guys on wobbly legs. O is a water elementalist, and officially now able to kind of do all of his stuff and understand it and begin that journey. Congrats, well done. You did it. I was scared you wouldn't do it. Also you would have had to fight Iggan if you didn't deal with him at the end, by the way. You would have had to fight him in the real world as well, depending on what choices you made at the end. So, chopping his head off was a good idea. Just wasn't sure if you would. I wanted to present you with the idea. Shall I chop his head off? To see whether you did remember that they do retain their...
Oh, yes.
For a little, they retain their kind of consciousness for enough time for you to question him.
I remember, but Ellie wasn't going to tell Zauna what to do with regards to, her father.
She noticed that.
Yeah, that was a big deal. You guys are all level 5.
Whee!
Congratulations. So we'll do all that level up stuff offline. Level 5 is a big one, but you don't get a lot. Most of you don't get a lot. I know that Aura now gets extra attack, which is just such a big deal.
She needs it.
When the ranger gets the extra attack is very useful. Level 5, you guys leveled up. I've been waiting for so long for you to get to this fight to do that. I was like, man, I should have had them level up at something before this, because I was, I somewhat milestone it. So I'm like, yeah, where would they do it in Final Fantasy after that boss fight? We'll see. There's one player off the board now. Congratulations. Iggan dealt with. So we'll do a quick round of shout outs, and then next week we will begin the next chapter of this book, which is my book, because I'm the GM. And you're all characters, and you did your lines very well. You read all of the lines exactly as I wrote them in the script. Oh, they can still hear us. Round of shout outs. Let's start with Katie Peters Plays.
Hello, I'm Katie Peters Plays. I played Aura for you today, and I rolled okay.
You did.
So
Are you kidding me? Clutch, you got us out of
there. Saved
there.
everyone, really.
Yeah, you saved our lives.
It's not even the
MVP.
roll. It's the fact that you gated us out of there.
Yeah.
That was like MVP. I was afraid Brad was going to be like, and you're on a remote island, nothing's around, and I'm be like, okay.
Died. There's nothing. We died on a little deserted island, TPK.
I was worried that you would fail one of the wisdom checks and it would close.
Yeah, I was too.
I was
I'm being honest with you.
And like half of you would be out and the other half wouldn't be able to get out or whatever. We'll see. Anyway.
But I had fun playing Aura today. I'm excited to be level 5. You have no idea. But if you want to hang out with me, I stream on my channel, Katie Peters Plays. We are going to be playing some more Assassin's Creed Origins, where I geek out about ancient Egypt soon. And there's a new bread emote that's high quality and made by a very, very...
It can see into your soul.
Yeah. It's like the artist just was wonderful and captured it perfectly. So there's that too. So come see the bread. And that's me.
All right. Roll a hit dice for me, KPP.
Why?
Because it's your level up.
Level up.
Oh, I was like,
see
what
how
is,
much
what is this?
HP you gain.
Okay. A 10.
Damn, son. Nice. Max. All right, next. Pocket, where can people find you and things and stuff?
You can find me at Pocket on Twitch. Actually, there's no @sign, just twitch.tv/Pocket. At Pocket on Twitter. Ooh. I was playing Animal Crossing all week. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, I'm getting into crafting. I'm going back into cosplay. I've finally organized my set and be working on Harley Quinn and the Mandalorian. I'm excited.
Whew.
It's about time I get back into that stuff. But yeah, so that's it. I had a lot of fun. I think KPP easily gets MVP of today for that portal. I was gonna jump in that the coffin. I will say that. But
I think you would have worked it out. Probably the next
that's what I was gonna
turn.
say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But as soon as I got called back, obviously, if everyone's moving that way, Ellie's not gonna be like, no. Let me lay in
If
this.
there was
coffin.
no
Yeah.
aura
Lay here real quick.
portal, I think you guys probably would have worked it out next turn. I think that would have been when you, and then it would have been a matter of you getting to the coffins without him fucking with you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you would have got out. I wasn't sure though, because sometimes you don't know. You present kind of weird things like that, and sometimes you just miss it, and you're like, I don't know. And then
I think everything was pretty
one down.
obvious to Ellie when she opened the thing, and it was her name. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's her name.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, and yours was the only one, by the way, that had the bones all scattered around. Whereas everyone else's was like a skeleton. Yours was all kind of messed up and stuff. Everyone else's was actually a skeleton.
Tell us what that means.
There were two reasons for it. Initially, when I made the puzzle, I wanted not everyone to instantly be able to recognize their bones straight away, right? They run up and see, I don't know whose that is. And also, you're a little funky, right? You're a little undead funky thing already. Yeah. So really, it was just to represent the fact that you're
Broken.
broken is a good word, but that'll do.
Mm.
So yes, it was really just to represent that.
As soon as I saw the black envelope, I knew it was mine.
Yeah,
so.
You went straight to your one as well. And you started closest to yours as well, which was interesting.
Well, I knew after last time, Ellie would do one of two things. She'd go back to where she started and try to aim for the orb where she knew it was, or she would go towards the noise again.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I think she'd go towards the noise.
Yeah, you had to get within 15 feet of your own coffin to hear the noise was the rule that I think I wrote down. I've closed it now. And then you get the that was when I called for the perception checks. So yeah. Well, do you want to roll a hit dice as well? See how much HP you get?
Absolutely not. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn, son. That was one under max, right?
Yeah.
Another 10, and then extend your maximum HP.
42.
You'll be at full as well. I'll just give you that knowledge now. We'll start after a long rest next time.
Okay.
So you can give yourself all your stuff back. What about you, Disby? Where are you at in the week, and what you doing and stuff?
Oh, you can find me at Twitch at DisbyRx. I play a lot of variety games, scary games, fun games, silly games, and I played Bobo for you today, and it was a great episode. MVP goes to KPP. Seriously, holy shit.
Yeah.
Everybody did it so well. Thank you so much for all the fun.
It was cool. I've also discovered how broken you are now with your control ice spell, which is cool. I'm okay with it because I kept telling you might be the most powerful creature in the world.
I'm excited.
And you have just a bonus D4 at every turn.
Good thing we're going to an ice plane.
And yeah, I know. And I'm glad also
awesome.
that you have. The only thing I am glad of is that a bard has a lot of bonus spells like Healing Word or Bardic Inspiration, and now this thing, so it's like kind of an okay one for it to land on, I guess. And my GM brain trying to fucking balance this party, which I can't do. And I knew I wouldn't be able to do from the beginning, and I gave up trying. Hence Spider. Do you want to roll me the hit dice as well for your HP?
I'd be happy to. Oh god.
Oh my god.
Wow. What's with all these 10s right now?
Maybe if you don't roll a 10 on yours.
It's bananas.
I'm not going to. You know how I roll.
If you do, if you do, everyone gets an inspiration point. Wait, no, Phil's rule. You can't get a natural one on hit die. You can re-roll it. Oh my god. 5. Yeah, you don't even deserve it. You can have the 5. Wow. Amazing. 10, 10, 10, natural 1, 3, natural 1, 3, and then a 5. Okay. Amazing. PB, where are you then in the week, and what are you doing, and what is Gone all about?
Oh, goodness gracious. Hi, I'm Pumpkinberry, and you can find me at Twitch and Twitter at Pumpkinberry. I played Suna for you today, and right now I'm playing through Final Fantasy Tactics. I'm obsessed with it over on my channel. But I am also here on the new show that started on Fridays, Facade, which is dark, kind of, I want to say, detective noir thriller. It's really, really good. It's a horror show. Oh, I get to be in a horror show instead of GMing one. I'm so happy. And then I'm also GMing here on Wednesdays for Gone, which is our surreal kind of sci-fi thriller, which is only 5 episodes in. So if you want something to, start, definitely highly recommend that. And that's it. That's me. Thank you.
So
JPP MVP. Always.
JPP MVP. So we have on Tuesdays, we have Witchcraft and Wizardry. Wednesdays, we have Gone. Fridays, we have Facade. KPP also has Facade, because that's what her education was. And that brings us to the end of the episode. We'll see you next time for another thrilling episode of Roasting KPP live on the internet for your entertainment. Free on twitch.tv/Tablestory. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Congrats, team. We're going to go level up some stuff, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. It's not going to work. Hang on. It's not working. It will work. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Bye.